how this team will continue to respond with Devin Booker being sidelined and whether Golden State can keep pace with or without Steph Curry. It looks as though without. So we'll get into some of the matchups, the momentum, and what this means, kind of maybe get into more on the trade today, which is a very, very middle trade, not something we need to spend too much time on. But there's still, unless Laz, you've seen it, it looks as though we haven't heard –
did move, Kuzma from the Warriors won't be there. You see that, and I think the whole thing is, okay, who's going to get Giannis? Everybody's kind of waiting with bated breath. I just had a feeling that was not going to happen just because I think somebody would want too much for him. And on top of that, I don't know if he has a no-trade clause in there or not. I'm not sure if he has to approve the trade. Just check on that real quick, Laz. But I think that if he was going to go somewhere, he'd have to work with the Bucks on going somewhere, and what the Bucks would get in return, I think it would be ginormous. I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, probably did not happen, and that's probably the main reason why.
Yeah, it seems like Giannis is going to be more of an off-season trade. That's going to be a ginormous haul going both ways, so that's something that couldn't get done in a short time like this. And then I think Ja Morant looks like he's going to stay put for now. That is another guy I see getting traded this offseason, and I think Draymond as well is going to be staying.
What do you guys think about Roc? He's going to, if he, not that he's not getting traded, being Giannis, they may just sit him the rest of the year. This seems like to be this little pattern in the NBA that if somebody can't play and they're healthy and they want to move on, they're just going to sit him. I mean, why? I wonder if the commissioner gets involved with that. He wants to say, okay, if he's injured, there's an issue. I want to see it, because you got those fans paying money, those season ticket holders, to not just sit him until you see what happens, as you were saying, at the end of the year.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these big guys like Wemby and Giannis, they're all suffering a lot of calf injuries due to their size and the way they're moving around so quickly. Big men aren't supposed to move like that. So I think they're using the calf injury and pushing it as far as they can to say, all right, we're not going to play him. We're going to rest him, try to get a higher pick. All these unprotected picks going both ways. It helps them in the offseason. And plus, if they know they're going to move him, why risk an injury, which could screw their future? So I think they're trying to just play it as safe and caution as possible.
Yeah, what's so funny is as you watch the WM Open on ESPN right now, or if you're out there, you question the shirts that people wear. Like I was out there yesterday, and just, you wake up and you're like, I'm going to wear this at the Open. It's like, why?
T-shirts or
I just saw a Bush Reagan 82 or whatever it was.
Oh, I see.
I'm like, why would you pull that out?
Yeah.
On here we are in 2026. I understand the political part of that,
sure,
but just why? And then you see somebody, like I saw somebody yesterday decked out with a Chicago Blackhawks hat and jersey, like the sweater. And I'm saying, I might have saw 4 sweaters. I'm like, dude, you're in a golf tournament.
And what hockey team is here, and when are your Blackhawks ever going to come here? I get that. It's like, why would you? They want to be identified with something, right?
I get it.
Everybody wants to be identified with something.
All right, well, we're identified here with Twin Peaks, our home Thursday. We're in Tempe. Normally we'd be in Scottsdale, but a little busy up there. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN Radio Phoenix.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per-person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with the perfect plan to ensure everyone's well-fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
With Sun Devil women's basketball, it's not just a game, it's a show. The speed, the swagger, the no-look passes that make the crowd gasp, the intensity that feels like it could light up the court by itself. Every night, this team brings fire. Fast breaks, big moments, and defensive energy you can feel from the top row to the hardwood. If you want basketball with heart, pipe, and pure showmanship, you want Sun Devil women's basketball. Get your seats now at sundeviltickets.com.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas,
is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Arizona children enter the foster system every day. If you're a parent, a coach, a teacher, or just someone who cares about young people, then you may be in a position to help. Becoming a foster parent not only creates a positive ripple effect in a child's life, it can improve our entire community. That's the foster effect. To learn more, go to azdcs.gov/foster effect. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Department of Child Safety.
When I grow up, I want to be a ballerina.
Because dancing makes me happy. I get to entertain people, and nothing makes me feel more like me.
PI, a defect of the immune system, affects millions of children. Early and accurate diagnosis and treatment give children like Olivia a chance to achieve their dreams.
It takes a great team to put on a show. It also takes a great team of caring people to keep a dream alive. And now my dreams are coming true.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Mentality. The guys are live at Twin Peaks Tempe, located in the Tempe Marketplace. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, Suns made a move today, bringing in Cole Anthony Amir Coffey, and they moved out Nick Richards and Nigel Hayes-Davis. What looks like a money move. So good stuff. Something. Get something to talk about, right?
Well, I think that
it's not broke.
And if they're going to make a move, bring some guys in who got a little bit of experience that can, fill in periodically here and there. But yeah, I think it's with Nick Richards, just very disappointing. I think for a lot of us, when he came into the Suns last year, you expected a lot more. But I just think the rise of Ogadura is pretty much really, forced that decision. On top of it, the $5 million to relief, as far as what do they call that? The repeater. As far as making that, trying to get rid of some of those tax dollars, allows them to make a few more moves. So, doesn't surprise any of us because he really hasn't been doing anything really the last 2 months for the Suns team.
So tonight's Golden State Warriors in town. They got a late start, 8 o'clock, a pivotal divisional matchup. Suns are right around that bubble right there, 31-20, sitting pretty good at this point. I think a lot better than we expected here on February 5th. But Warriors sit at 27-24, and they're fighting for positioning out there on the West Coast and in the Western Division. Injury news is the major storyline. Devin Booker out. Jalen Green is questionable. Most likely he is out. So this forces the role players to kind of step up. All right, what do we got, CC?
I actually just got the injury report in right now as you guys started talking about this. So it looks like we have Devin Booker with the right ankle sprain is out. Jalen Green with the right hamstring injury management and left hip contusion is out. Nigel Hayes-Davis not with the team will be out, and Nick Richards not with the team will be out.
Okay, so it's kind of what we expected,
yeah.
Right? I mean, that's pretty much expected with Jalen Green being questionable, which at the same time means out.
I was driving in today thinking about this, going at this point, will we ever see him on a consistent basis? But I think we're doing pretty good with Gillespie and Allen coming in, and then Goodwin, him coming off the bench and doing his thing. Dunn and Iguodala, okay, they're going to get their minutes. They're going to be productive. It's just going to be when you play those bigger teams, not so much physical team, but just bigger teams that can out-rebound you overall, and then the offensive boards are second-chance points. I will say this, though. It's interesting to see with Booker out of the lineup on a consistent basis, their turnovers have been down by like 3 or 4. Now they're still, I think, averaging right around 14 or 15. But the last couple of games, last 3 games, those have been down, unlike last week. Because as we know, when Book gets the ball, he's very susceptible as he's driving to the lane or bringing the ball up to having the ball stolen or him making a bad pass. So I don't know, with Allen and Gillespie and Mark Williams scoring a combined 78 points the other night in Portland, I would feel pretty good about the starting lineup.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's Portland shot lights out. But I mean, you got Curry's out, Butler's out for the rest of the year, and then Kuminga just got traded, so he's moving on down the road. So you look at this team in reference to the Golden State Warriors, you just kind of think, okay, what are they going to put out there? I mean, I would assume that this team would win. I mean, the Suns team at home, and pretty much looking at this Golden State team overall, you go, okay, what will they put out there that can be competitive with this Suns team? Now, they still got a bunch of shooters. They got guys that can put it out there. But, Draymond, Porzingis moving on, Curry out. So it'd be one of those games that I think the Suns should win this game going away.
So odds makers have them favored by 6.5. Many prediction models are leaning towards Phoenix to win based on the talent depth and the current form of this, but some simulations also project a relatively high scoring game if the injuries open things up. Of course, giving some guys some opportunity, as we mentioned, Booker and Green out, but Steph Curry and a few others are going to be out for them as well.
Sure, 130 to 125 against Portland. Not a real good team, not a real good 3-point shooting team who really shot lights out. But the one thing I like about having Gillespie and Grayson Allen in the lineup at the same time, they push that pace. They get the ball up and down the court. Mark Williams gets up and down the court. Just seems like they've got that gear, and that's been somewhat, I think, a common theme with this team is with Jordan Knott's team that they push the pace, but they get back on defense. And yeah, you wish they were a little better as far as offensive rebounding or rebounding per se, but the pace is constant with these two guys in the lineup. It's trying to find their open shots, a lot of movement. And then if they can just stay hot, you can shoot 38 to 40% like you have the last couple of games from 3-point land. That's also been a factor as well.
All right, keep an eye on Colin Gillespie and Dylan Brooks tonight. If you are a gambler, DraftKings or what have you, that's probably where you want to put your money in. They've been key producers of late, and the Suns do have a strong home record. They love playing at home for the Warriors. This could be a chance for them to see someone that we don't really talk about with the Warriors that could shine with their stars being out. So I think it's going to be a game. There's going to be a lot of superstars there. The crowd's going to be packed. When I say superstars, VIPs, because of the way Spanish Phoenix Open, they kind of do that every year where they make sure that there's some home games when the WM Open is here, as everybody's trying to capitalize with all the business that's coming into town. So it doesn't go a year where there's not home Suns games when the team's in town. It was the same thing with the Coyotes. When the Coyotes were here the week of the Super Bowl, the week of the WM Open, both local sports teams had games, and that was smart.
And you're waiting for what will the rift be with Draymond Green and, as you mentioned, Dylan the Villain Brooks. How will that go? But when you hear Draymond Green's podcast, he gave Dylan Brooks some flowers in reference to him not being named a reserve as of yet for the All-Star game because he felt he's played his best year with this Phoenix Suns team. So sometimes I think the chatter that goes back and forth with some of these players is more bark than bite. I mean, we talk about guys going against each other, not liking each other. I think sometimes that just sells. So fans are just kind of waiting to see what happens one way or the other. It's kind of like the good old, the NASCAR rivalries. Richard Petty versus Dale Earnhardt. Will one of them bump each other going around a curve? People anticipating some of that. To me, there might be some jawing going back and forth, but I don't see anything. Maybe a technical. We talked about the other day. How many techs in this game over under? Maybe 2 total. Now, is it Brooks? Brooks has got to be careful.
There won't be any.
He's got 14, so I think to your point, might be a little bit of a cleaner game. But we'll be watching. That'll be interest for people watching when you got all these Golden State Warriors will not be there or traded away.
Our State 48 Roofing, it's your call question of the day. By the way, State 48 Roofing, if you are looking for a free roof inspection and you want to do this before it starts leaking, you just go to the website, state48roofing.com. All right, what do you really care about most on Super Bowl Sunday? Watching the game, halftime show, eating everything in sight, and the party and commercials. Those are your four choices. You can vote at Roc and Manuch on all of our social media platforms. We encourage you to vote, and we will have the results a little bit later in the program. All right. We will go inside the Seahawks locker room just 3 days before the Super Bowl. Seattle Seahawks analyst Paul Moyer will join us, break it down, what the Seahawks have to do to beat the Patriots, and what's the real matchup advantage for Seattle, and how big is the moment for this roster. It's all coming up right after this ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update with Laz. It's Roc and Manuch from Tempe, Twin Peaks, on ESPN Radio Phoenix, on FM at 98.7 HD2, and always on the Arizona Sports app.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Milwaukee Bucks have agreed to a trade with the Phoenix Suns, sending Cole Anthony and Amir Coffey to Phoenix in exchange for Nick Richards and Nigel Hayes-Davis. The deal is expanded into a three-team trade involving the Chicago Bulls, with Ousmane Dieng heading to Milwaukee and Nick Richards rerouted to Chicago. Meanwhile, the Waste Management Phoenix Open is officially underway, with round one in progress at TPC Scottsdale. Chris Gotterup is setting the early pace at 8 under par. This ESPN 620 Sports Center update is powered by Vans Golf Shops, serving golfers since 1963. Our unprecedented service and custom club fitting are the cornerstone of our business throughout the Southwest. We look forward to serving your golfing needs. Seahawks pre- and post-game radio host Paul Moyer will join the guys next.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Lerner & Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Swing into Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf to get custom fit for the new Ping G440K driver. It's the new standard and straight with dual carbon fly wrap and a faster face. It's Ping's highest MOI most forgiving driver ever. Check out Ping's new G440K drivers. Book your custom fitting in store or online. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Here's what's different about GCU. It's one of the country's biggest universities with over 360 programs shaped by industry leaders. GCU's campus ranks among the top in the nation. Most of all, GCU cares about affordability. The average federal and private loan debt for GCU undergrads is lower than the average for private nonprofit four-year universities. Find your purpose at GCU. Visit gcu.edu.
On February 21st, the Arizona Cardinals Foundation will host the first ever Cardinals Climb. State Farm Stadium will transform into a mountain-like experience with trail-inspired routes for all ages and abilities, raising funds for 4 organizations benefiting Arizona's special needs community. Barrow Neurological Foundation, SARC, Special Olympics Arizona, and Treasure House.
Join Wolf and Burns on the Arizona sports team by texting HIKE to 620-620 today. Because together, we climb higher. Message and data rates may apply.
Most pedestrian and bicycle crashes happen early morning or at night. The leading cause? Drivers failing to yield. Since 2010, traffic fatalities for people walking and biking have doubled in Arizona. So stay alert and watch for bicycles and pedestrians. There's no such thing as accidents. Learn more about the risks at azdot.gov/no accidents. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Department of Transportation.
It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Mentality. The guys are live at Twin Peaks Tempe, located in the Tempe Marketplace. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
What he's doing. Darnold looking at him again. Some pressure, though. Hit as he throws, man open. Guess who? Smith and Jigba. Touchdown, Seattle.
All right, courtesy of Fox with the call there as we head out to Santa Clara. We're going to do that a few times today and tomorrow. And this is our first stop today as Paul Moyer joins us, Seattle pre- and post-game radio host. Of course, we always got to mention Arizona State alum, and he joins us now on the right to it, I guess, sign here with Roc and Manuch. How we doing there, Paul? What's going on? How's Santa Clara or San Francisco?
Well, it's sunny, but I'm not there yet. I leave tomorrow.
Oh,
I've been
okay. All right.
I know. I've been to 10 Super Bowls. This will be my 4th with the Seahawks. And
so,
you know what? It's just it's not the same anymore, Jim. It's got to me. It's so watered down. Going down there for the week isn't my best use of time anymore.
So why don't we do this? Well, we'll call you back tomorrow when you're there. Because Manuch told me you were there. Manuch told me you were there, and I'm like, he's giving me false information. I was going to go all about the what's the atmosphere, and so instead, I guess we'll just talk.
Well, he can't go tomorrow. We're just he's busy guy, Rock. Remember, he's not going down to the last set. He's been to 25 different Super Bowls.
He said 10 minutes. If you're listening,
I know.
Hey, I want the charter flights that the Seahawks have like 8 charter flights going down, friends, family, employees. So took the cheaper route, and again, man, just with all the social media now, and again, I would say information is cheap, expertise is not, and there's just so much information out there now that I don't know. I just felt like I don't need to go down early this year.
I don't blame you. It's I get it. When it was 2 weeks, well, it is 2 weeks. That's rough. I mean, some people got to get out there for 2 weeks, and that's rough. All right, Paul. Then I'm going to ask you. Some of the narrative over the last few days and the last week and a half has been the youth, the inexperience of the Seahawks. How do you think they're handling those questions, that talk, or you think they're basically oblivious to it?
Well, I don't know how many people in New England have played in a Super Bowl.
Sure.
Obviously Vrabel and, they've got their offensive coordinators, a lot of coaches who have been a part of it. But last I checked, they're not putting on any pads. They're not playing. The one thing about the Seahawks, though, is they have a really good – they're very young, but they have a nice mix of veterans as well. And, I look on our defensive side, certainly Leonard Williams, Jaron Reed, 2 guys in their 30s playing at a great level. Sam Darnold is 28, and while it's his first Super Bowl, I think he's battle tested for this. I actually think if he wins the Super Bowl, and I've said this, you guys heard me last week, he's the most talented quarterback in Seahawk history. I think if he wins the Super Bowl this year and they can find a way to get back another time, those are the kind of Hall of Fame numbers that start popping up. And he's in his prime. I think his best football is still ahead of him, and I think he's going to have a proving ground again tomorrow, on Sunday.
Paul, do you feel that it seems that in public opinion he has to win the Super Bowl to exercise that those comments almost 8-9 years ago? I don't think it's necessary at all, but in the public opinion, he wins the Super Bowl, whether he has a clean game or not, doesn't win. Does that finally exercise whether he wins or not? That exercise those ghost comments from years ago? I hope so. I feel like he's done it in the last 2 years. I mean, here's a guy who's won. He's won 30 in the last 2 years in the top playoffs. He played exceptional. He had a couple of bad games, obviously.
obviously the last two a year ago, and he had one bad game against the Rams. For him to go and win that last game of the year against the 49ers in San Francisco with the number one seed on the line, to do it again the next week, to do it again, I bet it's 2 weeks later, to then beat the Rams, who most people thought were, the best team at one point with the Seahawks. I just think he was playing so well right now. I think he's going to have a really good Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a tough matchup. That New England against no joke. Definitely third down defense. Against the line, they've got some disruptive guys in the interior line there. They run a really good scheme that they all understand. It's going to be just some tough moments. I just think he's already exercised all of his demons. I think the rest is yet to come for him.
It's a good comment. Defensively, a lot of young guys, but man, you guys got some energy. You guys have got that impact as far as physicality is concerned. But Josh McDaniels, there's nothing he has seen as an offensive coordinator with this Patriots team. Schematically, pressure from the front three or front four are going to have to be pretty much the theme like it was for Philadelphia last year.
Yeah, I think so. Here's the one thing. The Seahawks, the last 3 games, have played against the 2 best offensive coordinators in the NFL. I mean, Shanahan and McVay, what they do from a schematic standpoint to get prepared for, I put on the New England film and I go, oh, golly, I missed that simplicity. It's not rocket science. You guys know there's 11 guys on each side. There's only so many things you can do with football. And the nice thing about the Super Bowl, because you get 2 weeks to prepare, everybody gets somewhat healthy. You know their schemes. Usually the best team wins. But I think McDonald and McDaniel, I think that's going to be a really good, again, another good matchup between a good offensive coordinator and a good defensive coordinator. But I think the Seahawks have seen the best of the best from a scheme standpoint, and for the most part, they've held up. It's the reason why the Rams put some points on the board against the Seahawks. It wasn't necessarily the scheme. They just have really good players. They made plays left and right. And, if New England can make more plays than the Seahawks, they're probably going to win the game too.
Paul, what is it you appreciate the most about this defense?
That's a really good question. I think it was after the Ram game, the first time we played them, and it certainly was the second time we played them a few weeks back. It's just how physical we are. And obviously the NFL is a physical game. But the Seahawks offensively and defensively on their line and just every guy, I'll say 10 out of our 11 guys on defense, because we have a corner that tries, but that's not his strength, is hitting. It's just how physical they are. And we take away some, or we don't put the importance sometimes of that the physical nature of the game, how it wears teams out in the second half. And if you go watch the Seahawks, they almost they dominate in the second half. They've outscored teams the last 10 games, I think, by anybody in the second half. Scored the most points as well. They soften you up. They talk about it all the time, offensively and defensively. So I just think it's the physical nature, and they never give up. Witherspoon, you guys go watch him. When we got him a couple of years ago, he played at another level. I mean, his hair was on fire every play. Well, now we've got 10, 11 guys that do that. And I just think that's what I admire about this team, is just that will to really take the other team's soul, and they do a pretty good job of it.
Paul, what's, in your opinion, being in a lot of Super Bowls, like one in-game scenario you think could really decide Super Bowl 60 for Seattle for their favor?
Yeah, I think this one's pretty simple.
Okay.
I think this is an evenly matched team on both sides. I think the Seahawks are slightly better. I think they're a slightly better offense. I think they're a slightly better defense. I think their special teams are maybe a more than slightly better. if the Seahawks don't turn the ball over and don't give short field to New England's not going to win this game. They don't have enough firepower offensively. But their defense, they do some things that, they're going to give you some looks. They're going to force Sam into some really tight windows, which Sam's capable of, but every once in a while he trusts that arm too much. We just can't get behind early on them where we've turned the ball over and made New England's life easy. If you take all of the intangibles that are going to go on in a game with turnovers and the referees making a call here and there, let's just strip all that and just say it's going to be even. If it's even in the turnovers and the refs, the Seahawks are going to win this game. They're a better football team. And so, again, they're just the little things on the edge that could tip it. And New England's really good. They're really well coached, and they've had a fantastic year. So they're more than capable of winning this game.
And my last one for you, Paul. Always appreciate your time. If I'm that right-handed Sam Darnold, is Charlie Cross. Looks like he's questionable. I'm sure he'll probably play, but where's his health? And then it looks like defensively, Moyer is really the only one that's questionable. They look fairly healthy from the defensive side. But Cross, is he going to be a go?
Yeah, he's been nursing, for the last 3 or 4 weeks. They put him on questionable. He had a hamstring, a knee. I think he had a groin. And so it's just all, working together there. He's going to go. He'll be fine on that. I think him and Warrior, I'm a little concerned. I was watching him walk. He does have a low grade and a low ankle sprain. They'll get all that swelling out. And by Sunday, I think he'll be fine. But they're going to have to tape it up. And he's going to have to go into a game where he's wounded. And it's easier to play in a game when you get wounded than to go into a game wounded. And so I'm hoping that youth, though, heals quickly because he's a really valuable player in the Warriors.
Paul, one quick one. We're going to have Dave Krieg on the top of the hour. When I say Dave Krieg, what comes to mind?
Ultimate competitor. If I had the final drive of a game and I could give the ball to anybody that I've ever played with, I'm giving it to Dave Krieg. Just natural leader. Love Dave. Love playing with him. Love competing with him. And that, when I say compete, Dave and I, you can ask him. We played pool, we bowled, we played golf, we played cribbage. I kicked his butt in all of them. He knows that, so you can go ahead and say that. Okay. But just love competing with Dave. And honestly, guys, you go look at his numbers, and I know that all the passing has gotten so crazy because they throw so much. When he retired, he had Hall of Fame numbers. He just never got to a Super Bowl and won one. So, but great player, great guy.
But, Paul, for the last month, Sam Darnold's been your franchise best all-time quarterback. So should we tell him that you're leaning towards Sam Darnold instead of him?
No, tell him I said that Sam's the most talented guy.
Oh, okay,
I didn't say he's the best quarterback. Okay? Sam can make every throw. Dave Krieg's the least talented guy, like me when I was played, but he got the most out of his ability. No, I'm teasing. Dave actually throws the best go route of anybody as well. I mean, him and Steve Largent had it down to a science. No, I have nothing but respect for Dave Krieg, man. He's one of my boys.
And by the way, I told Dave you would be coming on before him. He said he loves him some Paul Moyer, physical, hard hitting, and he said the same thing, competitors. So the love for each other, that's the kind of camaraderie I really believe, Paul, that you have to have if you're going to be successful on both sides of the ball.
Well, the one thing the Seahawks have done is they've done these things where the players get to know each other. Kind of, they go on a walk. And Mike McDonald brought that in, and that, Mike's always looking for what can we do on the fringe, the edges, and make a difference. And I think you're dead right. I go, when you have a relationship with somebody and they're truly your friend, man, you don't want to let them down. Man, when you go into battle, man, you know what you're battling for. So I think the Seahawks have that edge as well. It's been pretty cool to watch.
Paul, thanks as always, buddy. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Have fun out there.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Paul Moyer joining us, Seahawks pre and post, of course, Sun Devil legend. And we'll have to bring that back, CC. You're going to have to pull some of that, see if you can get it for Dave. We'll play that for Dave at 2 o'clock. All right, coming up, the wildest Super Bowl moments ever, including the legendary 28-3 comeback. NFL honors tonight with some MVP drama and the Hall of Fame class loaded with stars. We'll get into all that next. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Twin Peaks, Tempe.
When it comes to sushi, reputation matters, and Sushi Brokers Arcadia has built theirs on being the best sushi in Arizona. From traditional rolls to bold fusion creations, like our crowd favorite, Seafood Dynamite, and the must-try sushi pizza. We've got something for everyone. Our famous happy hour is every day from 3 to 6:30 with fresh favorites like the California roll, spicy tuna roll, and the surf and turf roll, topped with seared steak. Sushi Brokers Arcadia, 44th Street in Indian School.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer, trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks. And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner & Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Growth is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Whatever you're craving, we got it. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon pours, and top shelf spirits served over ice balls that hit just right. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails, yep, all here. And with 5 Valley locations. And don't forget the teeth-chattering 29-degree drafts we're famous for. Pair it all with scratch kitchen bites that actually satisfy. From shareables to hearty favorites. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Hey, it's Eli Winders. Just a reminder, if you're feeling low, you're not alone. Life can get tough and we all need a hand sometimes. Don't be afraid to talk to someone, even if it's just to get things off your chest. You have to take care of yourself so you can take care of business. Remember, there's no shame in asking for help. You've got people who care about you. Reach out if you need to and check in on those you care about too. We're all in this together. This message is courtesy of the United States Air Force.
Are you looking for career opportunities with great benefits and job growth? How about the chance to make an impact? What we do here at the City of Phoenix matters. 14,000 employees and counting, all dedicated to making a difference in the communities where they live, work, and play. So come join us. Help us do work that makes Phoenix work. You can see all open positions and apply at phoenix.gov/jobs. This message is sponsored by the City of Phoenix.
It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Mentality. The guys are live at Twin Peaks Tempe, located in the Tempe Marketplace. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, some historic milestones on this day. Tom Brady led the Patriots and greatest comeback in Super Bowl history.
That killed you, didn't it?
No, really. I wasn't an Atlanta fan. I just hate, watching the Patriots win.
One of the greatest, when we were doing that game, it was just amazing to see what Kyle Shanahan called to set that up versus just running it 2 yards to get a first down, pretty much run the clock out. They get stopped, then he gets sacked, and then Brady did his magic. The Edelman catch was the factor that kept those drives going. That was a phenomenal kick. That was the game changer with that.
2012, Eli Manning Giants defeated the Patriots 21-17. And then 2006, the Steelers beat the Seahawks 21-10. NBA legend status on this day in 1989, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar became the first player in NBA history to score 38,000 points. How about that? All right, NFL honors tonight. The league's going to announce some major awards there in San Francisco. MVP finalists, Drake May, Christian McCaffrey, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, and Matthew Stafford. Who's going to get it, Manuch?
I think Matthew Stafford.
I do too.
I think he's the guy. He's the odds.
Will that help him come back for another year?
You know what? It's interesting. I think he's won a Super Bowl. He's been to last two NFC Championships games. Lost to Philly last year. Lost this one to Seattle. He gets MVP. He could very likely just ride off into the sunset with an MVP and move on. Would be his first MVP. I think he's conquered all the mountains that he pretty much wants to conquer. Now, if he feels pretty good, had his best year yet, and got him to yet another NFC Championship, and if he feels, I could see him coming back. But I just think, I don't know. I got a hunch that this might be it for him. He might move on now that he's got the MVP, and then all he can do.
All right. Also, the Hall of Fame class of 2026 is expected to be introduced. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, they're locks.
I think so. I think both are locks. I do. I had heard there's a lot of rumors and scuttlebutt out there that Roger Craig is another one that pretty much will probably be inducted. Interesting, Robert Kraft is out there, will not be inducted. So yeah, I think Craig is very deserving. He's the first running back ever to have over 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving. And he's got 3 Super Bowls under his belt as a running back. Also, in reference to Tyler Shuck was voted by the fans as the Pepsi Zero Sugar Fan Vote Rookie of the Year in the National Football League. So now,
why'd you have to say zero sugar? Okay,
yeah, that's Pepsi. That's who the sponsors are.
Are they paying you to say that?
No, but that's how it says. Pepsi Zero Sugar Rookie of the Year, voted on by the fan. And quite frankly, guys, I don't know if it's just the voters or it's a combination of the fans. How he got it.
I don't know how he got it. He didn't play that much.
He had played 9 games.
All right, how many games is the season?
He had the highest passing.
How many games is the season?
What's 18?
Okay, so he only played half the games, and he gets an award.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I know he's your guy, but it just I mean, come on, you can make that case. If he wasn't your guy, you could say, all right, say if Tyler Shuck played 12 games and the guy that played 8 or 9, I should say, wins it, you would be like, well, he only played half the season.
Well, his passing percentage for all rookies was the highest. He had the most wins for a rookie in
because
the
you couldn't
Orioles in New Orleans.
You didn't teach him to throw farther than 10 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, a dink and dunk. I mean, of course it's going to help.
I quite frankly think that you talk about games, but I think T-Mac with Carolina will probably be the odds on.
Yeah, I was saying.
But you know what? Hey,
great year.
If Tyler had a strong showing,
if he didn't go to U of A,
the limited amount of games played, but I think T-Mac was played every game. Overall consistency is probably going to be T-Mac at this point.
All right, college football national signing day recap. So the 2026 recruiting cycle is officially wrapped up this week. We saw some big moves that could shape the future of the sport. At the top of the board, the USC Trojans landed the #1 overall recruiting class. That's the first time a non-SEC program has finished atop the rankings 2020. You can thank Lincoln Riley, the head coach there. He brought in a massive group of high talent athletes, a bunch of 5-star prospects. So USC is looking to kind of regain that spot once again that they were. They're good for football to be one of the top programs. LSU Tigers also got some big recruiting news. They highlighted some big defensive additions in the portal, the transfer window as well, with Lane Kiffin being there. That was big. When USA Today did a piece where kind of the winners and losers, and they gave, of course, #1 Southern Cal. LSU was #2. Oregon was #3. Texas Tech was #4. Losers, Penn State with James Franklin, of course, being fired, and Matt Campbell is a rival. Of course, Franklin's move to Virginia Tech, I'm sure, had something to do with that. He probably was able to secure some of those guys that maybe he had been recruiting for the last year.
Yeah, got them to switch at the last second. Very fortunate for him that there's that flip that you still have the 2 signing days. We had the one in December and then now this one here, which I believe the early one next year goes away. And the reason why you don't see ASU with any signings, they signed all theirs with the early signings. So that's why I don't see any additional signings for the Sun Devils.
Baylor was on the loser list. Auburn was on the loser list as they got a new coach there at Auburn.
It's interesting. Auburn's they're really sliding as far as, play on the field, recruiting. And I think the other thing is you mentioned the top 4 or 5. It's just kind of like follow the money. And those guys are going to go after top defensive guys. I know that there's an emphasis for LSU at the receiving core and defensive guys. Nussmeier's gone. Sam Levitt there. So that's what they wanted to focus. Lane Kiffin, pretty much the way he built Ole Miss. Same kind of thing. Defense, give my receivers, got his quarterback in Chambliss, and move on from them. And by the way, speaking of Chambliss, got turned down by the NCAA and not going to be able to come back for his 6th year of eligibility.
All right, coming up in hour number 2, Dave Krieg will join us. We'll talk about that. Roc's Man Base, we haven't done in a while. We will dive into that. Mark May will get his thoughts on the new hire. You know, the more that I keep watching the press conference with Mike LaFleur, I like the kid. I like the guy a lot. He so reminds me of a college coach being hired.
Sure.
And being introduced.
He's going to need a lot of energy to get this team back on track.
He's like a nice Big 10, Big 12 head coach taking over a new job, you know, where he was maybe at a MAC school and, you know, with the family. It's good. I'm not saying it's negative at all, but it's just the first thing I take away. I'm like, that's a college signing.
Well,
I love 38 years old.
And I love his enthusiasm speaking versus Gannon was like a monotone.
Yeah. All right, as I mentioned, the Seahawks legend Dave Krieg will join us to break down why he believes the Seahawks have what it takes to beat the New England Patriots. Where does Seattle control the game, and what will win it late if that's the case? We're out here at Twin Peaks in Tempe. We appreciate you hanging out with us. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN Radio Phoenix on FM at 98.7 HD-2. Got YouTube flying as well, and we're always on the Arizona Sports app. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Hour number 2 next.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction. Lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try it.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt. So you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
We'll admit, we've already thrown in the towel on the New Year's resolution.
Yeah, and we made it through dry January. But one healthy new habit we're sticking with is Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to help protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
With trusted ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and artichoke extract, it's gentle enough to take all year long.
No harsh cleanses, no extreme detoxes, just simple daily liver support. We really feel the difference.
Yup, more energy and the peace of mind knowing we can enjoy the good things in life while giving our liver the love it needs.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Moyer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Mentality. The guys are live at Twin Peaks Tempe, located in the Tempe Marketplace. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Krieg's going to operate out of the shotgun from the KC-25.
You have to hit a seam here. You've got to find a seam.
He's back. Thomas is there. He slipped away from Thomas. Krieg back, throws it. One in the end zone.
Yeah, touchdown.
In the end zone. The Seahawks are going to win the ball game. As Scans, he got it. And that's the last play of the game.
Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. Game winner for our next guest, Dave Krieg. He takes you back to 1990. I'm sure he can still spin it. We haven't talked to him in a long time. He used to be basically one of our regulars, on a weekly basis.
A lot of time deer hunting up there in Wisconsin.
Yeah, he's hanging in trees.
Minnesota.
All that good
golfing.
Stuff. Dave Krieg joins us. How you doing, Dave? What's going on, Roc and Manuch? What's happening?
Roc and Manuch. How you guys doing? Good to be back with you.
It's great to have you on, especially with your former team at the Super Bowl. What's the handicap down to? Or you just been doing some hunting?
Yeah. Hey, listen, yes, I have not played golf since last October, but today I went out with my son, and another buddy of mine. We played Whirlwind, and it was okay. I'm getting the hang of it. It's funny, the older I get, the better I get at golf. That's what it seems like. I just can't hit it as far, though.
But you're consistent. Was it windy out there today?
It was windy. It got windy around 11:30, 12:30, something like that. It wasn't too bad, but you could feel it. I mean, as you can tell on the Phoenix Open, that wind's going to affect them out there today.
Oh, yeah. So, Dave, aside from your golf, how's the hunting season? You told me this morning that you're just getting ready to go get your blind set up. Matter of fact, remember we did an interview with you were at a blind about 6 or 7 years ago?
I was sitting in a tree stand talking to you guys. That's another reason why I didn't see very many deer that day. But yeah, I remember talking to you. This last year was one of our best years. I got some deer. I got 3. My son got 1. My other son got a 10-point buck. So it's getting better. It's a labor of love. My grandpa used to be a farmer. So when I was growing up, my dad lived on the farm until he was like, I'd say 25. And so when I was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I'd shovel manure, bale hay, and do all that stuff. And now I'm out. I got some hunting land, and I got a tractor, and I got to hook up a brush hog to it or a plow, and you got to learn power takeoff, and you got to learn how to do farming stuff. And it's like I'm a fish out of water, but I'm learning. It's a labor of love, I guess.
Wow, jeez. I mean,
Dave Krieg, rancher farmer.
You have cell service?
No, I wouldn't say rancher. I wouldn't say rancher, but a little bit of a farmer. My neighbors next door who are really farmers, I call them up. How do I do this? And then next thing you know, I break a shear pin. How do I fix that? And he comes over and shows me. Then I learn how to do it because he gives me a hard time. Oh, famous football player can't even do this, to give me a bunch of crap.
All right, the Seahawk team. I don't think. Well, I think going into the season they knew they had a good team, but in a division that was just stacked with San Francisco and of course LA. Yeah. What do you think is the reason they're there this week in Santa Clara? What's the one reason?
Well, there's a couple of reasons. One would be their culture. That Mike McDonald, he's not a real boisterous guy. He was at Baltimore Ravens, and that's all they preached was defense. And I've seen how he brings a team together, and he wants them to get better each and every day. And if you play as a unit and do these things, and especially on defense, when everybody knows what to do according to their formation, right when the ball snaps, and you can play with speed and you can play really aggressive. And that's what the Seahawks do. They don't have a bunch of guys that are good. They're almost all good, and their defensive line, linebackers, safeties. That's one of the reasons why they're there, because the defense carries you. Just like the Patriots, their defense is really solid. Their 2 most defensive tackles are awesome. And also the Seahawks, that Jackson Smith and Jigba, you guys really got to watch him. I've never seen anybody go into breaks, and he might go left, right. He might fake to the right and go to the corner, and he does it all at the same speed to come in and out. And his ability to control his body at a high rate of speed, and then when he gets the ball, his concentration and his hand strength is unbelievable. You really got to watch him. Kenneth Walker is a good running back for the Seahawks. So their defense, which you got to watch. They got a good punter. Sam Darnold, obviously. I'm like, last year, I remember this, Roc and Manuch. You tell me what you think of this, but when he was with Minnesota, didn't they go 14-2 last year?
Yes.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, why would you – I don't care who you got coming up as quarter. It could have been your number one draft choice, but if a guy takes you to 14-2 and the whole team, and then you let him go, I'm thinking how lucky the Seahawks were, because I did get a chance to meet Sam in training camp, and I went up to him and I said, hey, I used to play here. My name is Dave Krieg. And he goes, hey, nice to meet you. And real just humble kind of guy. And I think now he's just playing football. And I think he's got this freedom about him that, hey, I'm good. And I don't care what people say. They can't even say anything worse than they said in New York. You know what I mean? And so I think that gives him a freedom to just play. And he's doing just an unbelievable job. It's a great story.
You know, and we talked about that too, Dave. It's like, why would they do that? Well, that general manager of Minnesota was fired this past week, a little late. But you know what? When you watch Sam Darnold, this whole thing about has he exercised the ghosts? Well, hell yeah, he did that a couple years last year with Minnesota. This year, I think the thing that impressed me the most that he's fearless throwing the ball. He had the 4 picks against the Rams, but he came back and won that game in OT. Is his resiliency or his maturity that really is, I feel, has shined this last year.
Yeah, and also I think, you know, when you get a narrative about you, like you see ghosts and all that stuff, I think there's a lot more people that are exercising demons, you know, besides Sam Darnold. And I just think the way he's come about it is just unbelievable. And I tell you, you got to be resilient as a quarterback. But now I think he's got this freedom about him, although it's going to be nervous as hell being at the Super Bowl. Both teams, I don't know how the hell they're going to play in the first quarter. That's going to be interesting to watch how it all plays out.
Dave, you know, you had a great career there with Seattle. Was there a moment or a game or games that when you watch Sam Darnold that he's got it, he's feeling it, he's the guy that you see so much more different than a lot of normal people per se?
Well, what happens is confidence, right? When quarterbacks aren't playing real well, it's confidence. And you could throw 2 interceptions in the first quarter. You got to be able to, you know, have a short memory, but that's human nature. You still have to have confidence. So I think that's the key to anything. And that's what I just think that's the key. So back when I first took over, I remember 1981, I took over for Jim Zorn. He broke his ankle, and I had to start the next game against the New York Sack Exchange. Like, can you imagine you're from Milton College, you just flew on a few planes maybe 10 times, and now you get your first start against Gastineau and Klecko and Ephraim Salam and, you know, Marty Lyons and holy crap. And we won that game. And then I'm like, wow, that gave me confidence. Then the next year, nothing really happens. Then 83, Chuck Knox comes in, starts Jim Zorn again. Halfway through the season, I go in there. If you get confidence, man, that's all you need to play quarterback. And it's hard to keep it, though.
When you watch this team, this defense per se, does it remind you a lot of Legion of Boom a few short 4 years ago? Is there that same kind of physicality and speed that we saw with them?
Oh, for sure. Now you're not getting the big hits from Cam Chancellor. That's what really gives you the Legion of Boom is guys like Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas hitting people. But what the Seahawks have is everybody, like you watch every running play, they all run to the ball. It's got to be preached to them. It's like you have got to be in the frame if it's a running play. Everybody's got to tackle. So they're all physical. They play with, if you can play fast, that's what they always say on defense, and you know where to go and when to go there. That's what this defense does. So Legion of Boom just makes me think of the secondary, but this team has, like I said, they have a great defensive line, the Seahawks. They have very good linebackers. Ernest Jones, they got from the Rams, led the NFL in tackles this year. So when you got a defensive line that's playing good, then you have to have a linebacker to pick up all the tackles. You know, losing Bobby Wagner hurt, but then John Schneider is the executive of the year. That guy deserves a lot of credit too, because you have to have players, and John Schneider's the guy that brought in, you know, Leonard Williams and the DeMarcus Lawrence or whatever, and Sam Darnold, and he brought in 4 or 5 other guys that just melded in. And then when everything fits like that, man, and you play good as a team and you have confidence, that you can go anywhere.
Dave Krieg joining us here, Roc and Manuch. I was going to ask about momentum and how real is that confidence when you step on the field?
Momentum is it's great. It's like golf too. Like you know, you might play good the first 3 or 4 holes, and then all of a sudden it goes bad, and you're double bogey, and you're like, what the hell? So just like in football too, it's the same thing. If they block a punt and they score a touchdown, and then they kick off and you fumble, and now it's 10-0, and you know, you gotta. It goes back and forth, and you have to have the resiliency to withstand that. But momentum is it's human nature. All these guys out there playing are human beings, man. And you know, if a kid drops a pass, he's going to lose some confidence. If a quarterback misses a pass, you know, alignment, you lose a little bit of confidence. You got to have your teammates pick you up, and that's how you got to get through the biggest game you're going to play in your whole life. So
Obviously, I know you like Seattle. What kind of score are you looking at in this Seattle Pats game?
Yeah, I think it's hard to tell with the Patriots because the last 2 games they played were both in, you know, bad weather conditions. So I can't tell what their offense is. I know that Drake May and the rest of them did good. And Stephon Diggs might be their best wide receiver. I don't know. They got Travion Henderson as a running back. He's a rookie. So they got an okay offense. And but the Seahawks defense, I think, is going to nullify that. And then their defense may nullify some things, but not everything. So Seahawks should score at least 3 touchdowns, a couple field goals, and then the Patriots might score 17 points at the most.
So, Dave, I'm going to play a clip for you. I don't know, this guy somehow got our number, so I'm going to play this clip, and then we'll get a response from you.
Okay.
Ultimate competitor. If I had the final drive of a game and I could give the ball to anybody that I've ever played with, I'm giving it to Dave Krieg. Just natural leader. Love Dave. Love playing with him. Love competing with him. And that, when I say compete, Dave and I, you can ask, we played pool, we bowled, we played golf, we played cribbage. I kicked his butt in all of them. He knows that, so you can go ahead and say that. Okay. But just love competing with Dave.
What do you think about that? Did he beat your ass and everything? Did he? Come on.
Well, who is that? Is that John Spagnola?
No, Paul Moyer.
Paul Moyer. Oh, yeah. That is such BS, man. That guy, if you look at the word hyperbole instead of just exaggeration, you look at the word hyperbole, and Paul Moyer's name will be there. He will talk about how good he is at everything and how much better he is than everybody else. That is Paul Moyer to a T. So, I got one more for you, okay? Because he's been a big Sam Darnold fan over the course of the last couple months that we have him on. I mean, big fan. And I posed a question about, you know, kind of him versus you, and here's what he joked around about.
Now tell him I said that Sam's the most talented guy.
Oh, okay.
I think he's the best quarterback. Okay? Sam can make every throw. Dave Krieg's the least talented guy, like me when I was played, but he got the most out of his ability. No, I'm teasing. Dave actually throws the best go route of anybody as well. I mean, him and Steve Largent had it down to a science. No, I have nothing but respect for Dave Krieg, man. He's one of my boys.
Man,
that's hyperbole pointed towards me. He still can't give me the whole thing. He's got to say, I'm not the most talented, but, you know, so I'm like, he's always a backhanded compliment. I love it. That's pretty cool, though. Paul Moyer, we used to compete. We still do. Now his kid and my kid, we played golf up at some golf course that he's up in Seattle, Sahali, actually. Oh my gosh, that's so cool, man!
Good stuff.
Man.
See, don't you miss it, Dave? Don't you miss doing these hits all the time? You mean you were always talking football with us?
Hey, listen, I got to tell you real quick. So this guy said, Dave, I'm writing a book about the game where you got sacked 7.5 times by Derek Thomas. I said, wait a minute. I got sacked 7.5 by Derek. I got sacked 4 times by the rest. I said, there was 11.5 sacks in that game. Don't forget that. And so anyway, he's writing a book. And then he talked to Ray Butler and John Spagnola and Jeff Chadwick. And pretty soon I'm starting to call these guys, hey, man, how you doing? And Paul Scanzi's a great, great friend of mine. He lives back there, too, by Paul Moyer. They both live in Washington. So it's good to see your old teammates. I'm going to the Super Bowl. I get to see Kurt Warner, the running back from Penn State, you know, and a lot of old teammates. So that's going to be cool, too. It's really nice to – when you get older, you appreciate seeing the guys around a lot more. It's pretty cool.
Well, hey, enjoy Santa Clara. Hopefully another Super Bowl win for the Seahawks. And thanks so much. We miss having you on. So thanks for the time.
Hey, Roc and Manuch, you guys take care. Have a good weekend.
You too. That's Dave Krieg, the legend, joining us here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN Radio. Phoenix, appreciate his time, as well as Paul Moyer earlier on the program. And he's brought to you today by Twin Peaks. Nobody does happy hour better than Twin Peaks. Nobody. It goes on from 3 to 6. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon, top shelf spirits over ice balls, local craft beers, and those famous 29-degree drafts. You compare it. I had the pot roast today for lunch, which is just there's something better.
Yeah, you turned me on that about 3 weeks ago. I loved it. It's good stuff.
So when it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play around. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, and scenic views. All right, my man vice, Roc's man vice, is about to get real weird. Honey that basically is like for what's that? Those little pills you take. What do you call those?
Oh, the Prevagen?
No, the other ones.
Oh, my vitamin E?
No, what's the other one?
Oh, the vitamin D.
No, starts with a V.
Oh, well,
or a C.
I don't take Cialis.
Oh, well, that's what this honey bit. Well, all right, it's coming up next. For you guys, you know what I'm talking about. May have a way to get around the pills. You see the commercials everywhere. So I have that next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN Radio Phoenix.
The biggest game of the year is coming, and at Backyard Desert Ridge, it always sells out. Lock in the best seat in the house now. Reserve your table today and pick the perfect spot, right in front of the massive LED wall or surrounded by more than 50 high-def TVs. Great food, ice-cold drinks, and wall-to-wall action so you don't miss a single play. Every year fills up fast, and once it's gone, it's gone. Don't wait. Swing by Backyard Desert Ridge and secure your big game seat today.
When tragedy strikes, the impact is immediate and devastating. That's when the 100 Club of Arizona steps in, providing financial assistance, guidance, and emotional support to the families of public safety officers injured or killed in the line of duty. They also invest in mental health resources, injury prevention, and scholarships for the children of first responders. Every day, Arizona's public safety professionals put their lives on the line. The 100 Club of Arizona has their back. Learn more at 100club.org.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
You buckle them in, but are they really protected? In Arizona, child passenger safety starts with the right car seat. Double check that your child is in the proper seat based on their age and size, and that it's correctly installed. The wrong fit or a loose seat can put your child at serious risk. Need help installing your car seat? Certified technicians can help for free. Learn more at gohs.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Friends and family are often the first to notice when a veteran needs help. In those moments, life can feel like the weight of the world is on their shoulders. Or like they are caught in a storm they can't escape. And the metaphors veterans often use for the challenges of life are not exaggerations. Extending a helping hand doesn't have to be just another metaphor. Learn how you could support the veteran in your life at maketheconnection.net.
Everyone deserves access to quality health. But for half the world's population, essential health services are out of reach. At AmeriCares, we know access to quality health saves lives. We care. It's our call to action. It's in our name, AmeriCares. AmeriCares about our communities, our neighbors, our families. AmeriCares about good health for a better world. Join us. Learn how at americares.org/goodhealth.
Do you roll like Roc when it comes to romance?
What do you say we go out on a date? Have some chicken, maybe some sex. You know, see what happens.
Roc searches the world for tips on dating, divorce, marriage, pop culture, and even... Yeah, here's Roc's man vice.
60% of the time, it works every time.
I got a lot of stuff to get into today. We'll start with the one that I teased right out of the gate.
I am very interested.
Probably
in
the
this.
most important for us guys, at least anyone over 40. A bunch of energy honey just got recalled because the FDA found that it was basically spiked with the same ingredient used in Cialis. The company is called Acaro, and they were selling it as a natural energy boost, but it turns out it contained the stuff that's in Cialis.
Right, okay.
Which is basically the active ingredient for ED.
Okay.
And there are some side effects, dizziness, headaches, blood pressure spikes, and some very unexpected things that could happen at work if you're just chowing down some honey.
Some other things are spiking as well, I'm sure.
So if your honey looks more like a medicine bottle and says energy support, maybe skip the toast, right?
Interesting. Guys are going, okay, where do I go? Where do I go find that? That's interesting that would be the ingredients in honey. I thought the honey I provided is like all natural.
Well, no, it's
honey.
in this particular energy.
Oh,
honey, I should say. Yeah. Not all honey.
Yeah.
That
one.
Because if that was the case,
guys,
I would have a beehive in my backyard. All right. One cereal brand has William Shatner leaning hard into bathroom humor. There's also ads with NFL tight ends pushing health screening, celebrities everywhere, and even one featuring a three-legged furry creature that no one knows why. And it's crazy. Like, some people feel that these Super Bowl ads were written like 2 a.m. Still think the Budweiser one is the best.
That was very good. I saw
see it.
Awesome.
How do you not get the chills?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that is going to be one. If you're going to a Super Bowl party,
yeah.
When you see that ad and you have not seen it, it's hard not to see the ads before they're shown on Super Bowl Sunday. You're going to clap.
Yeah, you will.
You're going to be like, all right, Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch,
Yeah.
nice job, guys. You're
Very
back.
well done.
You're back.
Yeah.
Nice job. After a crotch-enhancing suit scandal in ski jumping last year, athletes will now wear a microchip suit and get a 3D scan at the Olympics. Yeah. That's
Okay.
how far. Technology is now going to measure ski jumper crotches. Yes.
And the reason for
There was cheating.
Oh,
There have been some cheating.
No, my goodness! That ski jump is amazing. When you see that camera that's on those guys, I mean, they're literally where they are.
Were you looking at their crotch?
No, I'm not trying to watch them fly through the air. But the whole crotch thing and having a
man, it's sad. Rest in peace to a childhood classic. Minute Maid is officially killing off those frozen juice cans after 80 years.
Those are the best.
You know, the ones that mom would dump in a pitcher
Yes.
and mix with water.
Yeah. Take
Gone
forever. Yeah.
It's another piece of our childhood just taken away from us. Do you even know what it is, Matt?
No.
No,
I
okay.
was trying to picture it, and I was like, I must not know what that is.
So, like, you see how these little coffee cups we have here? That was basically the size of a orange juice, and it would be frozen. Then you would open it up and just push it into a pitcher of water, mix it, and then you had OJ.
You pound
the simple things in life.
Yeah, it was simple.
Yeah, they're $1.
Why are they getting rid
Now
of
orange
it?
juice is like $6.
Yeah. What's next? You're gonna eliminate Hostess Twinkies and Ding Dongs for crying out loud?
I think Ding Dongs are gone.
Ho-Hos are still there.
Are they?
Twinkies are still
You eat
there.
that stuff?
No.
How would you know it's still there?
You know, because I see when
Like, you really go.
Well, it's interesting because, like, here's the thing: when on our lunch, we used to pack our lunch back in the day, and
What
so
day is that?
yeah, when we were, grade school,
Yeah, that's
junior high,
50s.
yeah, no, 60s, 70s.
Oh, you need to say that though. When you say back in the day, everybody has back in the
Well,
day.
it's
These days, it's for Matt, it's like back in the 90s.
Well, 60s and 70s, and here's the thing: you'd get your bologna sandwich with cheese, you'd get an apple. You were lucky to get chips, but if your dad got paid like the week before, you got a Ding Dong or Hostess Twinkie in there. You kind of wow. Dad must have got paid. Mom put a Twinkie in there.
We didn't have. So we were Tasty Cakes where I grew up.
Tasty
which is a little
Cakes,
bit
yeah.
different. The famous house from Breaking Bad was listed for $4 million last year. No one bought it. It's now the $400,000. How about that? It turns out the zoning laws don't love the drug show museum that they want to make it, right?
The owners over the years since have just been the nuisance of people stopping by to tour the house, look at the house, and go, oh, hey, that's where they threw that Venezia's pizza on the roof. That's where they got this. So it's been quite the nuisance for fans.
Speaking of the Olympics, according to fans, the favorite winter Olympic events, top picks were snowboarding, followed by ice hockey, and then bobsled. Figure skating is still didn't even crack the top 3. America has spoken. We like speed and crashes. Yeah, I used to be into the figure skating. You could do that with your significant other. You know, that's some quality time. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, Lori loves that, but I love it. But you know what? I do like the athleticism of the guys. What the point guys does.
I like downhill, man.
I do love downhill. That's right. Downhill and the ski jumping is the aforementioned ski jumping are some of my favorites.
And I wrote down this, and finally, McDonald's did what? They just debuted the McNugget caviar, for Valentine's Day. Yeah, it's real fish eggs in a McDonald's tin meant for dipping nuggets. That's a mistake.
Yeah, they have so you put the caviar on top of the McNugget. They got a little sauce, white sauce they put on there.
White sauce?
Yeah, it's like a sauce they put on, and then they eat it. And the guy's like, "Oh, this is so good." I've had caviar a couple times. I don't get it. I don't understand. It's kind of like, okay, it's fish eggs, and you kind of. But on top of a McNugget, who knows, Ron? The craze is on.
Oh my goodness!
At least it's real stuff, not like the McRib.
I'd rather have the sweet and sour sauce.
Yeah,
I've never had that.
Yeah, the McRib is nothing but processed. There's no meat in the McRib,
but people like it.
They do.
All right, Super Bowl champion. He's going to break it down. 2-time winner, Mark May. He'll preview Super Bowl 60. More importantly, I want to get his honest take on the Cardinals hiring Mike LaFleur. And I'm sure he will give it to us. But up next is another local ESPN Radio 620 update with Laz. Or no, CC.
No, Laz.
Laz, you're doing it? Why is CC doing it, man? Why do you guys
they alternate?
I like CC when he does it. No, I'm kidding. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Twin Peaks, Tempe.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Milwaukee Bucks have agreed to a trade with the Phoenix Suns, sending Cole Anthony and Amir Coffey to Phoenix in exchange for Nick Richards and Nigel Hayes-Davis. The deal is expanded into a 3-team trade involving the Chicago Bulls, with Ousmane Dieng heading to Milwaukee and Nick Richards rerouted to Chicago. Meanwhile, the Waste Management Phoenix Open is officially underway, with round 1 in progress at TPC Scottsdale, and Chris Gotterup is the current leader in the clubhouse with a score of 8 under par. This ESPN 620 Sports Center update is powered by Vans Golf Shops, serving golfers since 1963. Our unprecedented service and custom club fitting are the cornerstone of our business throughout the Southwest. We look forward to serving your golf needs. We'll see you there at Vans Golf Shop. 2-time Super Bowl champ Mark May joins the guys next.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer, trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the Grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher.
Because when I'm a teacher, I can help kids to learn and chase their dreams.
PI, a defect of the immune system, affects millions of children. Early and accurate diagnosis and treatment give children like Sam a chance to achieve their dreams.
It takes a lot of caring teachers to make school fun. It took a lot of caring people to keep my dream alive. And now, because of them, I can be head of the class.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. Cancer screening tests can help keep the person you love around longer by detecting changes before cancer develops, or catch it early when it may be easier to treat. And many tests are available for free or covered by insurance. It's time to sound like a broken record. Tell all your friends and family, I love you. Get screened. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
Now to talk everything football is two-time Super Bowl champion, a member of the famed Washington Redskins Hogs offensive line, 1981 first-round pick, earned All-American honors at Pitt, and a member of the College Football Hall of Fame, football analyst and commentator Mark May, now on ESPN 620.
Taking off his man, straight to the end zone for the New England touchdown.
Wait a second. Why would you come back with a Derek May? It's Mark May. Why wouldn't you find a highlight of him just smashing somebody?
Drake May, not Derek May. Drake May.
Drake May. It don't matter. It's not Mark May.
Well, we've been
We
beating
got Mark May on.
because we had so
That's my
many,
whole point.
said so many Seattle clips. We thought we'd go the other side with the New England Patriots.
But what's that got to do with Mark May?
Well, you know what? He's been to a Super Bowl. He's been to two of them. He's got two championships.
Mark, what do you do Monday through Friday from 1 to 4? Roc and May. I think Roc and May Day, that's got something to it. Would you go back to ESPN?
I think about it, but here's the thing. I didn't go to 2 Super Bowls. I went to 3. So get your facts straight.
See, I mean, we're just slipping, Manuch.
Well, you won 2 of them.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, with winner of
Still,
2
when you
Super
go
Bowl
to the Super Bowl, you get a championship ring, a conference championship ring. That's
Yeah, but you don't want to wear that. You don't want to wear that little thing.
That's a faux.
That's like hey, Mark. That's like Manuch's little K-State ring he wears. Come on.
When my kids were younger, they used to call it the loser ring. I'd wear it. It's like, Dad, you're wearing a loser ring. It's like, thanks a lot, Bryce Neighbor.
Hey, before we dive into that, I really want to get your take first on just your overall thoughts on Mike LaFleur being hired as the next head coach for the Cards. Just how do you assess this in terms of maybe the youth, his roots with his coaching tree? What do you think overall?
Do you really want the answer?
Yes,
Sure.
I do. I teased it that it's going to be unfiltered, uncensored Mark May next.
If you just go back to early January, we had this conversation when Gannon got canned. Wash, rinse, and repeat. It's the same thing. I said no quality coach out there worth his salt that can be a head coach at the top coordinator or that's a former head coach is going to take this job because it's the Cardinals. It is a graveyard for coaches. You're going to find some young coordinator out there that doesn't have a great background that you're going to convince people that he's the guy. You need to catch lightning in a bottle. Look at his choices. He was the offensive coordinator of the New York Jets. What does that tell you? That's a dumpster fire. They always have been a dumpster fire. Now he chooses the Arizona Cardinals. It wasn't even his choice because it came down to Klubnik, and he didn't take the job. Kubiak didn't take the job. So basically, he was second fiddle in that situation. So you're getting the guy. He's from the McVay tree. Yeah, that'll work. Yes, his brother Matt is the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. But just remember this. Mama Mantle had 5 boys, but she only had 1 Mickey. So if you think you're going to get another Matt LaFleur out of this, good luck, boys.
That's terrible.
You know, and Mark, the one thing I'd mentioned too, I echoed those same sentiments, was that there's a lot of guys that did not want to come here or didn't want to interview, or if they did interview, said, you know what, who's your quarterback? All right, end of sentence, and I'm moving on, or looking at the organization. I mean, I talked to several former coaches, former offensive coordinators. They said, Dan, no, I'm not going to go back. It's just a bad deal overall. I mean, they went on and on. So that's out there on top of this last choice, so to speak.
It's always been out there. If you look at what the NFLPA did, they rated all the players, rated all the teams, and what they've got in, like, their training staff, their medical staff, their weightlifting staff, how they're treated by the organization. Guess who came in last again? The Cardinals. It's been known for a long time. When Mr. Bidwell had the organization, I respected Mr. Bidwell. He was always nice to me. But the thing was, he was always known to be tight with the dollar and tight with his organization, and it's carried over to now. And every player in the league knows, and every player in the league talks. It's a lot easier now because you can just do it on your cell phone. And every coach knows. The only way you're going to take a job with the Cardinals, if you're an assistant coach, is, hey, I want to go there and get out of there as fast as possible because I know it's only going to be probably a 3-year deal max. And if we get lucky and win 1 year, we may get another year out of that. But they're looking at the organization and looking at the past, and it's like, don't go there. Gus Bradley got offered the defensive coordinator job, and what did he say? I'll take the Titans. What does that tell you?
Yeah. Well, I think on top of that, you just brought something up that, you know, with the 10 openings, let's say there's 10 assistants that are needed besides offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators. That's 100 positions if they're all filled, Mark. I mean, you're behind the 8 ball there. And then you go get Nathaniel Hackett to be your OC, who was with your brother in Green Bay, Matt, and then he flamed out in Denver. I'm like, well, as long as he helps prepare the game plan, but don't dare let him call plays, which LaFleur said he's going to call. But that one's a head-scratcher as well.
And remember this, both of them were offensive coordinators for the New York Jets. What does that tell you about decision-making? Come on, put it together. These are two guys that were losers as coordinators with the Jets and basically were lucky to find another job after that. And here you're in a situation, if you go to McVay and Sean McVay and you're on their offensive staff, even if you're a quarterback coach or a wide receiver coach, you're going to get an opportunity to be a head coach down the road because it's Sean McVay and the success he's had with his offensive coordinators. But if you continue to look at it, the guys that were really part of the offense and designing the plays, they were the guys that had success in the NFL as head coaches. Now you're looking at a guy that you're hoping, gee, he may be like his brother. You can't do that. It doesn't work like that. You know, how are the guys going to respect him in the locker room? They're going to walk in and look at, some of the guys that have been here 6 or 7 years, here we go again. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Geez, if I last to 2029, we'll have another new coach.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it right there. There's a lot of assistants. Who do you get? But, you know, Mark, you brought something up. Why would you? If you're Mike LaFleur, why would you take this position? You just said it. Just sit another year or two behind Sean McVay. Maybe you run it back for another NFC title one way or the other. There's going to be several positions. What if Andy Reid retires next year? I think I'd rather go take that gig and have a guy named Pat Mahomes as my quarterback. Or maybe there's a couple others. But why so anxious to take this role when you're going to a gunfight with a knife?
Because if you're a confident, patient coach and you know that you're going to get a head job down the road, why don't you wait? Right now, he probably panicked. He said, geez, there's 10 jobs this year. How many jobs will be available next year? Maybe 3 or 4, because they usually average 5 to 6 in the NFL per year. And if you look at all the teams out there, there's just not going to be that many openings. And he decided to take the job. 1, he's going to be paid good money. He's got a 5-year deal. He's probably making about $40 million. And 2, he's got an opportunity to be one of 32. There's only 32 jobs on the planet that are head coaches in the National Football League. He decided to jump at this. I think it's a mistake because once he flames out here, he will never have another opportunity to be a head coach in the NFL.
So you don't like to hire?
Sounds
Not
exactly
crazy,
how you feel.
Hey, look. If I'm advising Fredo that owns the team, Bidwell,
Sure.
This is what you do. You fire up your plane, and this is what you should have did weeks ago. Fire up that plane and have that sucker land in Pittsburgh. You go to Mike Tomlin's house, and you sit out in front of his front door and knock on the front door, and you say, hey, I'm Michael Bidwell, the owner of the Cardinals. Mike, can I talk to you? Can I talk to your family? Can I tell you where we are today? Tell me what you need to succeed in Arizona, and I'll match it. I'll make sure that you have it. If that doesn't work, then you take that puppy and you fly it up to Buffalo, you talk to Sean McDermott, and you give him the same speech and the same deal. One of those two may bite. Hey, I'm going to pay you as well as most of the top paid coaches. I'm going to give you a 5-year deal for $90 or $100 million guaranteed. I'm going to let you have $10 million on each side of the ball to hire the best coaches that you can find out there to bring in here. And I'm going to be patient and give you a chance to build this from the bottom up the right way. Because we know we have issues at the quarterback position, but we know we have talent at other positions. We can turn this around if it's done the right way. You tell me what you want, and I'm not leaving your living room until you tell me no at that point. You can tell me no over the phone. Your agent can say you're not doing it, but I want you to tell me face up, face to face, I'm giving you everything you want to succeed. You tell me if you want the job or not. And I guarantee one of those two coaches would have bit that.
All right, the game on Sunday. You got two teams, most unlikely Super Bowl matchup of recent memory. A couple long shots, wouldn't you say? What stands out the most in the pairing here between Seattle and New England?
I think the defensive line, personally, the front with Leonard Williams and DeMarcus Lawrence for Seattle, getting to the quarterback. If you look at New England, they've had 15 sacks in their 3 games in the postseason. And if you look at their offensive line, both left guard and left tackle are rookies. And I know it's the end of the rookie season, and basically they're not rookies anymore, but still it's their first year in the NFL. They're going against true veterans that like to bring the heat. And I think the ferociousness and the speed of this Mike McDonald defense is going to take over this game. I know everybody's talking about New England and their defense and who they played and stuff like that. The weakest schedule this century for any team, particularly making the playoffs, the New England Patriots of this season. Yes, you can go back and say, well, they played they played the Chargers. Yes, they played Houston. Yes, they played a couple of good defenses. But now this is a different story. Seattle feels comfortably at home in California because they've been in that stadium. They play in that stadium every year as the away team. New England's the home team, so they're used to the locker room. They're used to playing in the stadium, so I think that's a big advantage for them on both sides of the ball. Nothing's going to shock them. So in Santa Clara, it's going to be different for New England flying all the way across country. It's going to be a challenge for them. And plus with Drake May, he's made mistakes. Everybody talks about Sam Darnold's mistakes and seeing ghosts in the past when he was with the Jets playing New England. Forget that. That's done. He hasn't turned the ball over in the playoffs. Or on the other side of the ball, New England has turned it over multiple times. I think that's going to be key. And I don't think New England's special teams are going to be able to keep up with Seattle's special teams, either in the punt return game or the kick return game.
And, when you talked about that the second round or part due of the Legion of Boom watching the Seattle team and the offensive line of this New England Patriots team, and watching Drake May, his escapability, he's been sacked, 12 times through the playoffs. 15, yeah. Does he have to make the plays with his feet in order to keep this team in the game, that being the Patriots?
Here's the thing that you also have to watch in this game. In those 15 sacks, 11 of those were by a 4-man rush in the playoffs.
Yes.
So that means Seattle can drop the other 7 guys and have an opportunity to cover, and they can put a spy if they need to on Drake May. That's what they'll probably do in this game. But if there's so much pressure coming from the left side, Drake May's probably going to try to release to the right side, and you know that they're going to have a package for him if he decides to scramble. He's only going to run the ball if they have man coverage on the outside. They want the right wide receivers down the field where he can run and have some open field. I don't think that's going to happen against Seattle's defense. They're too smart and too good, too physical. They get to the point and they lay the lumber, and I'm really impressed with the way this defense plays. Guys, Mike McDonald, second year in the playoffs. You know who went to the Super Bowl in the second year being a head coach? A guy that started off 0-5 his first year, ended up 8-8. Mike McDonald ended up 9-8 his first year. This is his first Super Bowl. Joe Gibbs, in his second year, went to the Super Bowl and won.
Isn't that amazing? Well, you being the 3 of them, winning 2, what's the biggest challenge for both these teams with the 2-week layoff, so to speak?
I don't think it's a major challenge. As long as you stay with what you've been able to do the entire season long, you don't deviate, you don't change much, you give guys a little extra rest. But the week before, you tell the guys, take care of your business, take care of your tickets, take care of your family, take care of your friends. So once we touch down in Santa Clara, it's our business. It's a regular work week. That's what you have to do if you have to stay with what you do best. And don't be surprised if there's a couple of wrinkles, some trick plays in this game, some reverse passes, something like that. Each team's going to have one. I wouldn't be so surprised if they didn't, but it's going to be a great game to watch. And I think this game's not going to be as close as many people think.
Mark, thank you as always. And we got to get you maybe this rejoin to say 3 Super Bowls.
He's a 2-time Super Bowl winner. Yeah, you don't say 3 times. We respect that. You're a 2-time Super Bowl winner, so we were accurate that way, Mark, just so you know.
Yeah, sure. But the next time I see you guys, I'll be wearing my loser ring.
Thank you, Mark. Have a great weekend, buddy. Thanks for the time as always.
Adios. Take care, guys.
Adios, sir. Mark May joining us, 2-time Super Bowl champion with the Washington Redskins. All right. It's time to take on one of the gorgeous Twin Peaks girls from the Tempe location. Who are we catching up with? Alicia? Ashley. Ashley's going to join us. We got a gift card on the line. And we're going to do a little bit different this week. We need caller number 5, by the way, at 602-230-0620, 230-0620. We're going to do Super Bowl props, coin toss outcome. Coach gets Gatorade dumped. Will someone cry during the national anthem? Will Bad Bunny be wearing sunglasses during the halftime show? And, of course, we'll need the score in winner. And Ashley will join us next. So we need a caller to compete with her. 602-230-0620. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on ESPN Radio Phoenix.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Swing into Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf to get custom fit for the new TaylorMade QI40 driver. The QI40 family is TaylorMade's fastest, most fittable driver line. Don't miss out on your chance to find your new fast and schedule your fitting in-store or online today. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Rock for RightToyota.com. At Right Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on RightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at RightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at RightToyota.com.
Arizona businesses need more skilled workers, and our students are the solution. At the Pima Joint Technical Education District, we build the talent Arizona businesses rely on. With cutting-edge programs in health and technology and hands-on career training, our 30,000 students will graduate ready for high-demand careers. JTED builds the future of Arizona's workforce. Learn how our students will bring excellence to your business at PimaJTED.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Are you ready? It's your weekly chance to challenge one of the beautiful girls from Twin Peaks. It's Peaks Picks. The Twin Peaks girls are the essential ingredient to the perfect lodge experience. Each week, our girl next door Twin Peaks contestant takes on an ESPN 620 listener for 3 games. Get the most picks right. Win a $25 man card for one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations: Scottsdale, Phoenix, Glendale, Tempe, and Deer Valley. Now, time for Peaks Picks.
All right, we're ready to go. We got Ashley today here at Twin Peaks Tempe for our Peaks Picks, competing against Tony D. Wow, how you doing, Tony D in Tempe? So this is how it works. We have 5 questions today, and they are all related to the Super Bowl, Ashley. I know we just were told you're in a Supercross. Gave a nice plug for Supercross out in Glendale this weekend, so good stuff there. All right, so we got some fun Super Bowl props. And the way it works, you're competing against Tony, and if he wins, he gets a gift card. He'll have to come and see you, okay? And if you win, then you get the pride of winning, okay? Now, we'll put a little pressure on you. Our ladies are 31-16, so they've been doing quite well. So, with that being set up, All I need to know, question number 1, is the coin toss in the Super Bowl. Will it be heads or tails?
I'm going to go with tails.
Going with tails. All right, what did Tony D go with, CC?
So first, I got to say, I'm not sure if this dude is related to Manuch or not, but when I answer the phone and I ask for his name, he goes, "My name is Tony D, man, Tony D." I'm like, I don't really care for the last name, but anyways, he took the tails on this.
Okay, good stuff. All right.
All right, second one. Will the coach get Gatorade dumped on him? Yes or no, Ashley?
Do you know what happens when they win?
Mhm.
Yeah,
They get
okay.
the dump?
Yep. I actually don't think that's going to happen this year.
No,
She's
okay.
saying no. What did Tony D, my paisano brother, have to say?
He took the Gatorade bath.
Okay.
Yes.
He's
All
saying
right.
yes.
Of course, the national anthem is usually about a minute 30, minute 40, and there's a couple props on how long it will go. But I thought I'd mix it up a little bit. Will we see on television, will we see someone cry during the national anthem? Yes or no?
I'm going to say yeah. I think it's been an emotional year, at least for me. So
Okay. You see it? Okay.
I think someone's going to feel it. Yeah.
All right. That makes sense. All right. How about Tony D?
He took no on that one.
No. All right.
All right. Next one. Will Bad Bunny be wearing sunglasses during the halftime show? Will be wearing sunglasses during the halftime
It will
show.
be dark at the time.
Yes or no, Ashley?
I'm going to go with a resounding yes on that one.
Resounding yes.
Resounding yes. All right. How about Tony D?
Tony D said, "I don't know. I'm watching the Puppy Bowl." I'm just kidding. He said,
Yeah, I like Tony D. I'll be joining them. All right, so now this is the big one. We need to know who you think's going to win. And I just see your name tag says Washington, so I have a feeling I know where she's leaning here. Seahawks, Patriots, who's going to win and what's the score going to be?
I'm going to go Seahawks, and I'm going to say it's going to be a little bit closer, and I'm going to go 28-21.
28-21. All right, how about Tony D?
he took New England 28-24.
Oh, close going the other way.
Okay. All right, Ash, how long have you been working here at Twin Peaks?
April will be a year.
Okay.
So
And are you typically here during the day?
usually during the day, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
And I'm bartending.
Okay. And happy hour starts at what, 3 o'clock, right?
Yeah, 3 till 6, and
Okay.
then 10 until close.
So you got the reverse happy hour. And what would you suggest if someone comes in here? I know we got the big frosted 29-degree, but if you're like, you guys still sell those little ones? What do you call those? Manuch likes to get one after work.
I call them sippy cups.
Sippy cups.
I
Those are little
relate to
10-ounce
that.
beers.
I can relate to the
Sippy
sippy cups.
Yeah,
Great-
yeah, yeah.
Great stuff. Oh, I
Enough
love
for
it.
me.
Well, hey, great stuff, Ashley. Thank you so much, and we appreciate you. And thank you, and we'll hopefully do this again.
Awesome. Sounds great. Thank you guys.
All right,
Appreciate it.
he's got the Seahawks 28-21.
Yeah, it's you think about that, guys. Close game, flipping. Is the over under 45?
I haven't looked.
I will have to double check. But
I'm not. I'm going to listen to Johnny V from
Avello, Johnny Avello.
Yeah, Johnny Avello, because he said really like make your bets after the first
quarter.
No,
Or first drive.
first drive.
I thought
First
that
drive.
was interesting. He said that.
Yeah.
Knowing where they go and how far they go. He said if they get beyond the 40, then you could probably change it. But they're probably going to have whatever he was talking about as far as the point spread and the over under. I thought that was pretty interesting with that as far as his advice for a lot of that. And then a lot of the prop bets he laid out there as well too. I thought it was interesting. He said the coin toss not the most popular one. I thought it was. I thought the coin toss.
No, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. Jimmy B, who's so out of touch, he asked about the national anthem.
Yeah.
He said that was the biggest. I'm like, dude, there's so many. It's normally it's the who's going to first score. It's more the in-game stuff that's more popular.
Yeah, exactly.
Because real bettors aren't going to bet on the other crap. They're going to bet on the real
national
stuff.
anthem, it's so subjective. A minute 30, minute 25, what have you. I mean, it's the exact note to the last note. That would be very, very difficult.
All right, nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody, and it's going on until 6. Starts in about 7 minutes. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon, top shelf spirits over ice balls, local craft beers. Those famous, as I mentioned, 29-degree drafts. You compare it with the scratch-made bites that actually satisfy. They really do. The pot roast is amazing. And I was hanging out with one of the owners today for lunch, and he got the steak They're now doing these big steaks.
Yeah.
I know that's what you order.
Oh, yeah.
Because you always maximize.
Well, they got
what
the
you can get for
sirloin
free.
and they got the nice New York strip.
I think it was a New York strip.
Yeah.
So when it comes to happy hour and scratch made bites, Twin Peaks, they don't play around. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, and scenic views. So, hey, if you didn't see it, our It's Your Call question of the day, which is brought to you by State 48 Roofing, what do you really care about most on Super Bowl Sunday? Watching a game, halftime show, eating everything in sight, the party, and commercials. That's the 4 choices. Go to our social media platforms. Just search Roc and Manuch, and you can vote there. And always check out state48roofing.com. That's state48roofing.com, Arizona's #1 referred roofer.
Love the game, but I am always intrigued with the commercials. I just think the creativity, we talked about the new Budweiser commercial. It's that a lot of you folks will see for the first time on Sunday. Just the creativity, and if it makes sense. And the other thing on top of that is, who are some of the stars, ex-players or stars that are in these commercials? That's always fun for me. The halftime show, and I like to be entertained. It's fun to see who's there. Bad Bunny doing this one. And then
so you're looking forward to that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I like watching, and then I guess who's Green Day is also going to be part of it. They're also doing that as well too. But it's just a fun day, and it's the first time in 23 years for me, Roc, and 25 for you. That heck, I'll be actually home.
Yeah,
watching the Super Bowl. I'm like, what am I going to do with myself?
I'm not.
Yeah.
No.
Have you decided what you're going to do yet?
Yeah, but it's just nuts.
No, it's not.
But really it will be the first Super Bowl. 30 plus years.
Sure.
Because I worked 8. No, I worked 6 of them.
Right.
And attended one as a fan. You don't, when you're working it, or you're actually doing what we do, you don't watch it. You don't really get a chance to watch it.
You
watch bits and pieces. I remember I tried to get home, and kind of not rewatch it, but try to watch some of the highlights just to get caught up on what you missed.
Yeah, I always taped it. I always would watch. I'd fast forward it after we'd come home just to make sure there's anything I did miss, because we missed a lot of stuff setting up. It was a blast. I love that.
A couple trades today. One involves the Phoenix Suns. The other, the Arizona Diamondbacks. We will recap that and start us off hour number 3 of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, as we are live from Twin Peaks in Tempe. And it's a good crowd here. Got some, I think a lot of people are been at the Open today.
Coming home
early.
That's right.
At only 3 o'clock. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, ESPN Radio.
Bad driving habits are hard to break, but good driving habits are easy to form, especially when they can lead to a discount on your auto insurance. With Farm Bureau Financial Services, the safer you drive, the more you save. Drivers like you are saving an average of $321 per vehicle. So buckle up, learn more, and find an agent at fbfs.com/save. Individual savings results may vary. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and you know what's better than buying a new television from my friends at Waltz TV and Appliance? Buying one and getting one free. And that's exactly what you'll get through the end of March. Purchase any 75-inch Samsung QLED or OLED television or larger. You will get a 43-inch Samsung television for free. Take advantage of this great offer by visiting Waltz off the I-10 in Warner, right behind the IKEA. You can always shop online at Waltz.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with a perfect plan to ensure everyone's well fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and streaming live at arizonasports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, a couple trades today here locally. Start with the Diamondbacks. They have traded infielder Blaze Alexander to the Baltimore Orioles in exchange for right-hand reliever Cade Stroud. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. And a pair of minor leaguers. And a deal that, represents what this team's trying to do. And that is try to get some additional help in the bullpen. Stroud is 28 years old. Strong debut in the big leagues last year. A 1.71 ERA in 25 games. Only allowed one dinger, walked 13, struck out 24 in just over 26 innings. He arrives here with 6 full years of club control. He averages a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. He predominantly uses his cutter. He's a guy that also can throw a sinker and a sweeper. And then the Diamondbacks are also getting a couple right-hander prospect and an infielder prospect. In exchange, the Diamondbacks had to part with, of course, Alexander, who I think was a fan favorite, who had a breakout second half at third base. And he batted .230, 7 home runs. I think he was more of a defensive guy out there, I think most people would say. But it became expendable. You got your guy from the St. Louis Cardinals. So what do you need him for? And you got Lawler that's sitting there too that can play third base.
That's true, and that's when I hear that I went, wow, I hate to lose a young guy that's played extremely well. He could play third base, he could play outfield, he could spot you at first base if he had to. And this last year he started off slow, but he really caught fire in that second half. And Roc, you're right. Nolan Arenado is your third baseman. They desperately need the bullpen pitching. And with this guy, 28 years old, he's got some maturity to him. He understands pitching per se. So I like the move. Hate to see Blaze move on, but I think that bullpen's a priority.
Yeah, no question. And then for the Phoenix Suns, trade deadline was about 1:00, and the Suns acquired Cole Anthony and Amir Coffey in a 3-team deal. Nick Richards goes to the Bulls. Nigel Hayes-Davis to the Bucks. This move of Richards and his $5 million salary gets the Suns under the luxury cap threshold. That's the first time in many years that has been the case. And no surprise there. Money as well. I was really not seeing him much. He's not really in the rotation. And then good deal for them.
Yeah,
I think, it's there's multiple grades out there by the scribes. Probably a B minus kind of move.
I think
there's not much to it.
I think
not a lot, not a flash, not one of those flashy trades.
Get a couple guys that can spot you up. They're veteran guys that come in and play well. They're gonna have big numbers, but they're veterans. They know how to handle the pressure. But I think Iguodala pretty much is in that backup role for Mark Williams. And, it's Nick Richards. Really, the last 3 weeks, we kind of wondered, they sent him because they're looking to trade him. Obviously, they did. But I think Oso Ighodaro, who does the Vista High School product, is doing a great job of really, I think, progressing. Ryan Dunn on the other side, the second-year man, he's doing a good job. But Ighodaro seems to be that guy. That'll be that backup role for Mark Williams.
If you missed it last night, ASU beat Utah 71-63, so a nice road win for them. They tend to play better on the road.
Well, they were up 18 by one time, and Utah got it all the way down to 4 points with about, 30 seconds left in the game. But ASU closed it out. But, again, ASU played well on the road. Utah's decent team. Now they got Colorado on Saturday night, which is a really, really good team. But they only played 7 guys last night that been ASU. Desperation mode, so he's shorting that bench. But they only got 9 healthy guys, so the 7 that they played did fairly well.
So they'll take on Colorado on Saturday night, 7:30, and then they'll be home the 10th and the 17th with Oklahoma State and Texas Tech. All right, NBA trade deadline has come and gone, and Laz is going to give us a quick little update on what has transpired over the last few days.
So over the last few days, some of the bigger ones, Anthony Davis and Chris Middleton swap teams, with AD going to the Wizards and Middleton over to Dallas. That was part of an 8-player deal. The Wizards also got Jaden Hardy and D'Angelo Russell. Some other bigger moves here. James Harden was shipped over to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Clippers will get Darius Garland and a second-round pick. I like that move a lot for the Cavs. I think that helps bolster their starting 5. Jaren Jackson Jr. was traded from the Grizzlies to the Utah Jazz, when Utah sent 3 first-round picks and 5 players to Memphis. And then some of the newer trades as of last night, Kristaps Porzingis was traded from Atlanta to the Golden State Warriors, and the Warriors sent Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield back to Atlanta. A few of the other ones around the league, Nikola Vucevic from the Bulls to the Celtics for Anthony Simons and a second-round pick. And then on to today, the day of the deadline, the biggest trade I think we saw today was the Los Angeles Clippers trading Ivica Zubac to the Pacers. The Pacers sent a haul back to Los Angeles. Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick for Zubac and Kobe Brown. I think that is a lot to pay for a guy like Zubac, even though he's a good big man.
Zubac, that was interesting. I mean, they dominated the Suns in the paint the other night. Dominated them. I mean, it was like, 65? I believe they had like 63 points in the paint.
Yeah.
And they out-rebounded the Suns, I want to say 45 to 23 or something like that. So, very interesting, but it looks like the Clippers are somewhat cleaning house. You get rid of Harden. You pretty much get rid of Zubac. Kawhi Leonard's going, what are we doing here? Are we going to looking to win? So we want to lose? I mean, what is the end game for this LA Clippers team, which, quite frankly, is going to help the Suns in the long run?
It's starting to look a little bit like a rebuild. You get rid of Zubac, you get rid of Harden, you're bringing in a lot of draft picks. But you add Darius Garland. He's young, and he's got some health issues. He doesn't stay necessarily on the court as much as they want him to, but we'll see how that transpires. A couple other small ones. The New Orleans Pelicans are trading Jose Alvarado. We know he's a feisty little dude, to the New York Knicks. The Knicks are sending Dalen Terry and 2 second-round picks to the Pelicans for Alvarado. And Dalen Terry just got to the Knicks last night from the Bulls. They made a small trade to acquire him. So Dalen Terry's moving to 2 places in 24 hours. That's another Wildcat alumni right there. The Lakers traded Gabe Vincent and a second-round pick all the way in 2032 to Atlanta to get Luke Kennard. He was a 3-point shooter, lefty from Duke. He can shoot it a little bit, gives him some wing depth, but I don't understand that
all the way
much.
For 6 years out.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get those. I don't understand. Yeah, and a top pick in 2043 based on whether that player's playing or whether it's nuts to hear that. So Porter Jr. never got traded.
Nope,
never. Okay.
He didn't get traded. And then last but not least here, another small one. The Bulls, who seem to be unloading everyone, they traded Ayo Dosunmu to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Rob Dillingham, who's a good product out of college, Leonard Miller, and 4 second-round picks to Chicago for Dosunmu and Julian Phillips, who the Bulls drafted in the first round last year. Now Chicago has added 9 second-round picks and will have 14 in total over the next 2 years.
I'm anxious to see how some of these teams like the Cleveland Cavaliers, you get James Harden, you get rid of Darius Garland, you get rid of a second-round pick. Is he going to make the difference? Because they had to get rid of a couple guys. Yeah, well, James Harden's great, but he he needs another guy.
Well,
a couple guys.
The question is, how does that affect Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah.
I think that helps Donovan Mitchell.
Agreed.
We'll free him up.
So you think they're better today than they were?
Oh, I think they are.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Because Donovan Mitchell was doing more of the facilitating, playing
Yes.
a point guard as a natural shooting guard. So now he can kind of go more off ball. You let Harden facilitate a little more. And guys like that sometimes don't mesh well. But when you have big men like Mobley and Jared Allen, I think that creates a pretty good starting five. I think they could be contenders, if not the favorites in the East, because it's not that strong of an Eastern Conference.
Yeah. CC?
Just a little interesting note there. Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, and James Harden are actually all signed under the Adidas shoe brand. So there apparently was some talks between Donovan Mitchell and James Harden earlier in the offseason about how the two guys would inevitably want to work together. Donovan Mitchell said that he was a big fan of James Harden and looked up to his game. So he's actually really excited. He's already reached out twice to James Harden, from what I've heard from the Cleveland Brass, that it seems like this could be a really good fit for them.
Could be a nice boost for Cleveland, huh?
Well, think about this. Cleveland
They didn't look like much when they were here the other night.
Well, but remember last year they had the best record in the NBA.
Yeah.
And they fell short in the playoffs. So
They lost like 15 games all year last year.
Well, weren't they like they were preseason favorite, right? For the East?
Well, they were. Yeah, they
If the Celtics are healthy, I think they would give it to the Celtics. But like I said, the East is very weak this year.
But they faded totally. They got beat by the by Oklahoma City.
The Pacers in the first
Pacers,
round.
yeah, Pacers. I'm sorry, Pacers. I mean, they just were like, wait a second, you got the best record, so there was something to miss. Yeah, I don't know. It could have been several things, but I think Harden, if they're going to win it all, helps them get over that hump.
And for those that listen to Sports Radio Milwaukee, with Giannis staying put at the deadline, now the Bucks got to decide what they're going to do in the offseason. They're going to have to explore some options. They can't just keep going back and forth. They're going to trade him or not trade him.
Well, I think there's got to be a decision made, but they're also talking about they might just sit him the rest of the year too. And I can't see how, if you're healthy, how the commissioner would allow that to happen.
The NBA has so many teams that are intentionally tanking right now. Adam Silver needs to do something about it. The
Well,
Pacers are doing it as we speak.
How about the Wizards? How about Davis going to the Wizards? We're going to send you to purgatory for the next year until your contract's over. And then what's his name? Trey Young went there as well too from Atlanta. So you got Young, you got Davis. Hey, some building blocks.
It's a weird team.
Something I saw online is the Chicago Bulls have 7 first-round picks over the next 6 drafts and 9 second-round picks over that time as well. That's where Giannis is going.
He just signed up his kids for private school in Chicago. Rumor has it.
Really?
Yeah.
A little inside intel there, huh?
Go, Laz.
Wow.
You'd like to have him on your Bulls, wouldn't you?
Yeah, why not? I mean, the Bulls are get ready to learn playing. That's where they play.
Are you got the Chicago intel? You've been a Chicago fan. You know, it's interesting. So you think about that. If you stick with the plan, you might give some assets away, which you certainly can. Then you give some more assets away for some free agents.
Yeah.
There's those kind of assets that Roc talked about. That's some building blocks. That's just some chips that you have in your hand that you can trade away.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're going the Thunder route with all those picks, they don't have that many valuable players to give for Giannis, and it's going to have to be a lot of picks otherwise. But, I mean, we'll see. It wouldn't have to move very far, just down the highway.
Got to get you got to figure out what the current cut line is right now for the WM Open. I know it's early. It's only day one, but Koepka +3.
A lot of low scores in there.
All right, we're going to go out to Santa Clara in about 20 minutes. But before that, some of the weirdest Super Bowl prop bets you can actually put money on. We'll get into that. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Twin Peaks, Tempe, here on ESPN Radio Phoenix, on FM at 98.7, FM HD-2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
The biggest game of the year is coming, and at Backyard Desert Ridge, it always sells out. Lock in the best seat in the house now. Reserve your table today and pick the perfect spot, right in front of the massive LED wall or surrounded by more than 50 high-def TVs. Great food, ice-cold drinks, and wall-to-wall action so you don't miss a single play. Every year fills up fast, and once it's gone, it's gone. Don't wait. Swing by Backyard Desert Ridge and secure your big game seat today.
There's nothing like it. The rush when the band plays, the roar when the Sun Devils take the court, the energy that shakes the building and pulls you to your feet. This is Sun Devil men's basketball, where every night brings the sound of something electric, something unpredictable, something you have to feel to believe. From the first tip to the final buzzer, Sun Devil Hoops is where passion lives. Be a part of it. Bring the noise, and let's light up Desert Financial Arena together. Get your seats now at sundeviltickets.com.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Parents, tired of conversations that go nowhere?
How was your day?
Fun. With conversation starters from parenting.org, you can turn fine into fun.
What was the funniest thing that happened today?
I was sitting next to Piper at lunch, and she had this chicken fish patty thing.
Text Convo to 51550 for weekly conversation starters, from silly to serious. And connect more with parenting.org from Boys Town.
Arizona children enter the foster system every day. If you're a parent, a coach, a teacher, or just someone who cares about young people, then you may be in a position to help. Becoming a foster parent not only creates a positive ripple effect in a child's life, it can improve our entire community. That's the foster effect. To learn more, go to azgcs.gov/foster effect. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Department of Child Safety.
It's Thursday, and welcome to Lodge Mentality. The guys are live at Twin Peaks Tempe, located in the Tempe Marketplace. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge and home of the 29-degree beer, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce mugs. Here's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, let's get into some of the weird Super Bowl prop bets. As always, you can bet just about everything connected to the Super Bowl, and some of these are just absolutely wild. So these are 10 that I feel are kind of the strangest that are floating around. Now, this one's not strange, and it's one that's been really getting some play, and one that I think people bring up quite a bit. I heard it a few times last night on SportsCenter. Will the Seattle Seahawks throw a pass from the Patriots 1-yard line again? Now, odds makers are saying about a 90% chance no, because of obviously the last time they did it against New England, it cost them the Super Bowl.
Oh, that one hurts.
But that's one. You can bet on that.
All right.
Will New England Patriots linebacker catch a pass? About 94% no. But remember, Mike Vrabel, the Patriots head coach, caught a touchdown as a linebacker in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, and that's the key. That linebacker could line up at tight end like Vrabel did.
Yeah.
Not so much an interception, but they haven't used the linebacker at tight end this year, so it's more of an interception.
Which celebrity Patriots fan gets shown the first on television? Is it Mark Wahlberg, who is the favorite, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, John Cena?
I'd go Wahlberg.
I would too.
I'd go Wahlberg.
But Matt Damon's getting a lot of play. Now, Matt and Ben, if they got a movie coming out or something, which they always do. I just saw one I watched last week, and I can't remember. It was all right. Those guys can't remember what they were doing. It was a house full of drugs, and they were undercover FBI, or I don't remember. It was very boring.
I wonder if they're doing the Dunkin' Donuts commercial, both of them, with Brady. Remember Brady did that Dunkin' Donuts commercial?
Which landmark will get shown first, the Golden Gate Bridge or Alcatraz?
I think the Golden Gate.
The bridge is a heavy favorite.
Yeah.
Heavy favorite. And Alcatraz is a long shot. Will Bad Bunny have a wardrobe malfunction during the halftime show? Believe it or not, odds makers say that's actually likely. What kind of wardrobe would he have?
I don't
How can
know.
they tell if he's having a malfunction even?
Good point.
Depends what he's wearing, It's like
this one's pretty obvious. What color Gatorade gets dumped on the winning coach? The classic prop is orange and blue are currently tied as the favorites.
go with the orange. It's a safe bet. Look at the
TV
odds.
ratings. I'm going to be all over this one. Over, under 118.5 million viewers.
Ooh, I'm going to go. Wow, that's a tough nut. I'm going to go over.
Yeah,
I'll go
smart
over.
money's on the over.
Yeah.
You're not going to win any money, but it's still, every year it goes up.
Oh, absolutely.
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And to what Jimmy B said yesterday on the program, what's more American, Bad Bunny instead of Kid Rock? By the way, I told at least 30 people yesterday that I ran into to tell them about the discussion we had on our show yesterday about what's more American, Bad Bunny or Kid Rock, and everybody's like, "Who's Jimmy B?" Hope you're listening, Jimmy.
You see those lyrics he sent us this morning?
Oh, for Kid Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then his song, yeah. This is pretty serious lyrics.
Vulgar.
Wait, who sent him?
Jimmy B. You didn't see him?
Well,
I'll show him to you at break.
Yeah, he said one of Kid Rock's songs.
You can't say it over the air.
You can't. He's got the major.
Is it an email?
No, he just texted it to us.
Oh, I told him don't put me in your chat. I didn't get it. If I did, I don't open
Yeah.
it. If Jimmy B's on there, I don't open it.
Well, it's like when
Because why bother? He doesn't respond to my stuff, so why should I respond to his?
I think when we were talking about how and Beyonce and Coldplay and Bruno Mars, when she came marching in, her lyrics were you could say offensive, whatever. So we were talking about that, and we said, well, because a lot of these guys' lyrics, men and women, if you don't pay attention, they can be offensive.
But
so he
said,
said,
play those songs.
Well, that's it. I doubt if Kid Rock would sing the song that Jimmy B.
I don't
was-
think he's singing that song
No,
at
I
the
don't
Turning
either.
Point halftime show.
Yeah, but I've seen that before. People say, "Wow, he's getting away with it," but the FCA to put that Federal Communications to play that on the air,
The
which he
FFC,
did.
the FFC.
FFC.
Yeah.
FCC. That's right. FCC. Federal
FCC,
Communications System.
yes. Last one. Who does the MVP thank first in the post-game speech? God is overwhelmingly the favorite. Teammates second. Fans third.
I'd agree with all the above. I think
Yeah.
that'll be.
Yeah, I think that's right.
God,
So there
the
you
team
go.
and the
There's
fans.
a few of the weird, not necessarily all weird, Super Bowl prop bets as DraftKings, of course, are our partner, and we want to thank them yesterday again as they hosted us for 3 days. We got in, we got out. Now the madness is going on right now. Just watching this on television here at Twin Peaks, the crowds are enormous, absolutely enormous. It's what happens when it's 83 degrees in the Valley of the Sun. How do you not? And I'm just looking at ticket prices, on the secondary market. I mean, $180 for a general admission ticket, $250 for a general admission ticket. It's just, and the thing is I do applaud the Thunderbirds by adjusting how they do tickets. With this unlimited, or I should say unlimited, any day general admission pass that they had for so many years, to now kind of say, okay, we're only going to print 500,000 on Friday, 600,000 on, and I'm being facetious, is smart.
Is this the first year they've shut down the Saturday, or is this the second year?
No, I think it's like third, fourth year.
Is it okay? Because I remember, we've been going out there for many years with our show, and to your point,
But we've never gone on. We never do the show on Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
No, we did. But I mean, the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday were out there at DraftKings. I've never seen it like that this year, where before Monday was light. Now, Tuesday, Wednesday last year, at DraftKings, you could kind of sense it. This year, to your point, Rock, was off the charts. And we used to do our show in Radio Row, the entryway. We would do it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and people would come in and out. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that.
Well, yeah, that was the sponsor tent,
Yeah.
You come in, but they got rid of that.
Yeah.
Which was smart because it was crazy. Yeah, I mean,
it was fun. It was really fun to see the people.
The most feedback that I've gotten over the last few days is the Monday, Tuesday, like Greenskeeper or 16 on Tuesday is the ticket. Is if you want to take advantage of it, and if you're into having a good time and all that kind of stuff, the spirits, the vibe, the Monday, Tuesday Greenskeeper, the DJ's going off, the food's there, the booze is there, and people are having a blast. And oh yeah, there's a couple guys out there playing some golf.
Yeah, that was the other thing too. They were interested in seeing the practice rounds, and then the throng of folks over there at the practice green, the green and the driving range. They said was deep, like 3, 4, 5 deep. Watched a lot of guys, especially with Scotty Scheffler when he was out there. And then Shoffley was another big one. By the way, I think Shoffley was +2?
+3 now.
+3 now. But a lot of the fans, out there watching these guys practice. But that was it, the practice rounds, just being out there with that gorgeous weather. What a change from just a couple years ago with that rain that we had. And the mudslides, the sliding.
You may not have seen this, but J.J. Spawn, he had to withdraw for whatever reason. No one really knows. It was a late withdrawal. He's the U.S. Open champion from Scottsdale. That's got to hurt. A guy that is ready to go, and he was a U.S. Open champion Oakmont last year, and he missed the cut at Torrey Pines. He finished tied for 40th in the Sony this year in Hawaii, but no reason was given. But a guy that's lives in Scottsdale, was the second highest ranked player in the field, pulls out late notice. So, of course, there's plenty of talk flying around on social media, which is unfortunate. As he's being, some are saying he's a target for the Live Golf tournament or league. So he may be jumping over there. Replacement for Patrick Reed for the Four Aces team. Maybe Dustin Johnson called him. He's, I think, the team captain of that Live Tour team, the Four Aces. But he's a fan favorite. Guy that won the U.S. Open.
And the way he won it.
And the way he won it.
Yeah.
And he's a Scottsdale guy. I think he's originally California, but lives here in Scottsdale like everybody else.
And
it kind of sucks.
Yeah, he's been living here a long time, too. I don't know where he plays out of, if it's up north or whatever, but
I think he plays CBC Scottsdale out of.
It might be. You just see these the guys that come and go, and we think of some of the past winners that have won this Waste Management Open, and some of them that won have gone kind of by the wayside. You're looking at, I think, several guys back in the day, they're going, God, where's that individual?
Well, like Mark Calcavecchia, they interviewed him. Phil Mickelson, we know what he did.
Yeah.
Last year was Thomas Dietrich. He's in Live League now. Year before was Nick Taylor. He went even today. And then you had Scotty 2 years before.
So Scotty's very frustrated. So you guys will see that on the news tonight on Off Channel as well as ESPN Sports Center. He's pretty frustrated. CC reported earlier that kicked his bag, kind of threw his putter down, but very uncharacteristic of Scotty Scheffler. All right, a man who's seen it all, from the Big Red in St. Louis to the modern era here in the Desert Pro Football Hall of Fame voter, Howard Balzer will join us live from Santa Clara. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. But first, here is a local ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update with Laz.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Milwaukee Bucks have agreed to a trade with the Phoenix Suns, sending Cole Anthony and Amir Coffey to Phoenix in exchange for Nick Richards and Nigel Hayes-Davis. The deal has expanded into a 3-team trade involving the Chicago Bulls, with Ousmane Dieng heading to Milwaukee and Nick Richards rerouted to Chicago. And on the diamond, the Arizona Diamondbacks have agreed to trade utility player Blaze Alexander to the Baltimore Orioles in exchange for relief pitcher Cade Stroud and 2 minor leaguers. This ESPN 620 Sports Center update is powered by Vans Golf Shops, serving golfers since 1963. Our unprecedented service and custom club fitting are the cornerstone of our business throughout the Southwest. We look forward to servicing your golf needs. NFL Hall of Fame voter Howard Balzer will join the guys next.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
You applied to Grand Canyon University because you want somewhere fun and affordable, where hands-on classes and access to industry pros can help you build skills employers need, with the opportunity to graduate in less than 4 years. You want to feel seen, loved, called to more. to know you found your purpose. Make yourself the main character. Begin your story. Find your purpose at GCU. Visit gcu.edu.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Learn and Row, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Learn and Row, it's the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
For 100 days, I'm going to cross the 7 continents because the answers to everything important are out there at the edges of our world. I'm stepping into the unknown. Where are we going? To see our planet as it's never been seen before. From pole to pole.
Pole to Pole with Will Smith from National Geographic. Now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Show me the way. On February 21st, the Arizona Cardinals Foundation will host the first ever Cardinals Climb. State Farm Stadium will transform into a mountain-like experience with trail-inspired routes for all ages and abilities, raising funds for 4 organizations benefiting Arizona's special needs community: Barrow Neurological Foundation, SARC, Special Olympics Arizona, and Treasure House. Registration is open now at cardinalsclimb.com. Help us make a difference, because together we climb higher.
He's been covering the National Football League for close to 50 years. A longtime NFL writer, broadcaster, and co-host of the Pro Football Hall of Fame show on SiriusXM. A Hall of Fame voter, Howard Balzer. Now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
I'm feeling great. I'm so fortunate to be out here with these guys. We got a full week of practice. It's felt good, on Monday, and looking forward to get back out there today and tomorrow and Friday and having a normal week. So looking forward to that and feeling good. It's Wednesday and Thursday of a game week. It's the 2 most important practice days. We got to be all hands on deck. Fine tune the details, and we already have a game plan in, but make sure we try to execute it and just fine tune what we've been working on all season, and that's bringing our identity on the road. Having a chance to go win the Super Bowl and play at a high level in critical situations and in little things that know that during the game, little things are going to matter.
Oh, there you have it. As we get ready for Super Bowl 60, and that's Drake May on how he's feeling ahead of that. Joining us now from Santa Clara, Howard Balzer. How are we doing, Howard? How's it going out there? Hey, Howard.
We're not in Santa Clara till Sunday, but right now in downtown San Francisco and heading over to the media center to get over to NFL Honors for the big doings tonight there with all the awards in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
What do you expect? See, I don't know. See, are we allowed to ask him this kind of stuff? Just a Hall of Fame voter?
Ask him. All I can say is no.
Well, I mean, you can't get a yes or no answer, but
well, maybe you can.
Let me ask you this: somebody that's been on the ballot for a while, and there's a few of them that have been mentioned quite a bit over the last couple of weeks. Do you feel that one of those 3 will be on the docket tonight?
Well, if we assume that all the reports about Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft are correct, that they're not in the class, then one of them has to be introduced tonight. There could be 2 or 3, but all 3 of them. I highly doubt that, because it's almost impossible to get that many votes. For all of them to get 40 votes. But we're assured of getting 1, whether it's Roger Craig, Ken Anderson, or L.C. Greenwood. The question is if maybe a second can get enough votes. But quite frankly, I'd be surprised if it's more than 1 from that seniors group.
I think that the word out there is that it's probably going to be Roger Craig out of the other 2 that you mentioned. And probably when you think back on his career, Howard, I mean, first 1,000-yard rusher, first 1,000-yard receiving yards in the same year.
Right.
Sometimes we might see that Christian McCaffrey would have you, but that was, and the Super Bowls that he had won on top of that. I would hope, I'm kind of a Roger Craig fan watching him coming out of Nebraska and then doing what he does. Seems like odds are that it's leaning that way.
It could be, and I think McCaffrey, Marshall Falk, also did that with 1,000, and I'm not going to put Roger Craig and Marshall Falk's class, but what he meant to that 49er team, because he could run and catch the ball, really enabled that offense to open up and do the things they did with Joe Montana and Jerry Rice and other offensive guys. So he was an instrumental part of that Bill Walsh West Coast offense.
Not only that, you're looking at maybe potential rookie of the years, all the other, I call them ancillary awards. I thought it was interesting that Tyler Shuck was the rookie of the year with a fan vote, and then tonight will come the rookie of the year. How does that work? Is it a combination of the fans and the writers for the actual rookie of the year, offensive, defensive of the year? How does that whole thing work in reference to that, as far as that's concerned?
Well, all the awards tonight are the official league awards administered by the Associated Press, and there's no fan vote. There's a panel of 50 people who vote, and for each category, normally, I think MVP, you can vote for 5 guys. And then some of the others you vote for 3, and they have a point system, and then they add up the points to see who wins. But it's all from that media centric 50-person group that votes on all that, and they vote. Remember this: they vote within a day or two after the end of the regular season. So anything that happens has nothing to do with the playoffs.
A lot of prognostication. I know you're down there in San Fran Media Row. A lot of prognostication too. These awards per se, people giving their favorites or people hoping. What's been the soup du jour as far as favorites and rookies and MVPs and what have you?
I think most of the talk is people talk about the game. That's not to say there isn't discussion about the awards, but a lot about the game and what's going to happen on Sunday. But there seems to be a consensus that Matthew Stafford will be MVP. But you know what? Last year, guys, everyone thought it was going to be Lamar Jackson, and it ended up being Josh Allen. So you just never know how those votes are going to fall.
I know we're talking about Super Bowl, but I haven't heard your biggest take on Mike LaFleur as the new head coach. I hate grades, but that kind of would give me an idea where you are on this. Where are you on this hire?
I don't give grades. I think that anyone you hire who's going to be a first-time head coach you're rolling the dice. I mean, he certainly seems to be, obviously, he's a guy who knows football. Obviously, he knows offense. He's going to call the plays, and he has a great tree that he's come from with working for Kyle Shanahan and working for Sean McVay and all of those things. But the real key, and guys, I say this all the time, and he said it in one of the interviews he did Tuesday. He was talking about the defense, and someone said, I think we've got talent on that defense. The key is having those guys on the field, and that wasn't the case in the last half of the season. We've got to look at that and figure out how we can keep that from happening. So we can talk all about the head coach that we want, but he's got to get a good staff, and then they've got to improve the players. And like I said, hope that they stay on the field, because you're not going to win in this league when you're playing a whole bunch of backups.
So this big game coming up here on Sunday, has there been any kind of a vibe, any kind of a story? It seems very, very quiet on both home fronts for both teams.
Yeah, you can say it's been quiet. I mean, I think it's, they're two very good teams, obviously, and two very good defenses. And I think that, but there's not, I guess you could say there's not a lot of marquee guys, if you will. Yeah, you have Sam Darnold and what's he going to do in this game, Drake May, Jackson Smith and Jigba, what he's done for the Seahawks all season, what a year he's had. But I think it's, most of the discussion is just about the football matchup and all the interesting matchups that are in the game and how it's all going to play out. And I think a big part of it, guys, will be Drake May with the Patriots. How is he able to run like he was against Denver? Because that was a big, big factor in the Patriots being able to win that game.
How much is being said about Sam Darnold in reference to turning the ball over or having the propensity to turn the ball over?
Yeah. I mean, that was, that's been an issue at times with him. He protected the ball very well this year. There were a couple of games where he had interceptions, and that's obviously it's an understatement to say you have to avoid that in a game as big as a Super Bowl. And I think that if they can run the ball well and the defense plays the way they're capable of, then as long as Darnold doesn't force the ball or things like that, then I think he's probably going to play a pretty clean game. But you just never know. You just never know. Somebody makes a big play the other way, and it changes a game. So that's the beauty of football. You never really know, even though what's going to happen, even though there's a lot of people who think they know.
And then on top of that, the coaches, McDonald versus Vrabel. Vrabel's won Super Bowls as a player under the Belichick tree. Then here's McDonald under the Baltimore Ravens tree. How much is being made out of that, and how much can you slice that up every which way but Sunday?
Yeah, that's I think that's an interesting aspect of this, because of what McDonald's been able to do in his 2 seasons with a big factor. It isn't talked about a lot, but is John Schneider, their general manager, who's been with this team since 2010 when he started out with Pete Carroll. And he's made a lot of really good player moves, whether it's draft, whether it's free agency. And McDonald being, an excellent defensive coach with the Ravens, and Schneider wanted him bad when they were looking for the coach to replace Pete Carroll, and he was able to get him, and he's done an excellent job with that team. And with Vrabel, I mean, they're both kind of similar in some ways in terms of, the gritty down to the, play tough, play hard that everyone wants from their defense, and they both have a way of get the most out of the players on their roster.
Any story in particular you're looking to try to get, or you already had in reference to what you've got coming up for the next few days?
No, not too many other stories that there are. I mean, we're near the end of the week, obviously, so we're only 3 days away from the game. So it's one of those things where you've been here and done that and done everything you can, and you're just going to get to Sunday so we can have this game and see what happens.
You've been doing this for many, many years. What has changed the most? I'll just say these last couple of Super Bowls and Media Row, or just the games that lead to, or the hype leading up to the games.
Well, you guys were on Media Row a few years ago in Phoenix, and you could see what a crazy show it was. And it's like that here in San Francisco. I mean, you called it aptly. It's not Radio Row anymore. It's Media Row because of the podcasts and all the the TV things and all those things. And there are radio stations, but it's a lot of the other. And that has up ramped significantly over the years. And this is one of the biggest ones. And I think it's because the space that they're in is huge. I mean, it's one of the biggest rooms that I can recall, seeing for a media center for all the media shows. And because of that, they're able to get a lot of people. I was told, I don't know if it's right, but there are 300 tables in the room for all the different shows that are being done this week.
That's amazing at the end of the day. It really is.
It used to be maybe, I don't know, handful years and years ago. Now, I think they call it an event now, Howard, versus Media Row. It's because of all the stuff that goes on. Hey, my last question for you is as we try to get your favorite or your pick leading into this, when you talk about the coach, we talk about the players, the environment of Santa Clara, or San Francisco, relatively seems to be running pretty smoothly. Nobody out of line. But the overall feel and overall, I guess, atmosphere per se.
No, it has run smoothly. Of course, the one thing about it is how spread out everything is. Like the media night on Monday was in San Jose, which is an hour away from downtown San Francisco, where the media hotel is, and that's where the convention center is, where the media center is. But there's events all over. I mean, every year they have a media party on Tuesday, which is more for sponsors from the host committee and all that, the media. But there are a lot of media there. They had that in Redwood City. That's a little less than an hour away. So it's very, very spread out. The teams are all over the place in the area. And like you mentioned, Santa Clara is where the game is, and that's about 40 miles from downtown San Francisco. And I'll say one last thing about where you guys said about Media Row, Radio Row, that it was called back in the day. I can remember when it was Radio Row. It was one row, and there was about 7 stations. And now we see where it is today and how much it's grown.
Howard, enjoy. We look forward to catching up with you next week to get a full recap on it. Should be a hell of a game. couple long shots playing in Super Bowl. I think these are the games that people love to watch, so it should be a lot of fun. And enjoy the halftime show.
I'll do that. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks, buddy. That's Howard Balzer joining us here on Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B from Twin Peaks in Tempe, and he is brought to you by All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company. Whether you're stranded or need a professional transport, All City has the experience to get the job done right 24/7, and they're hiring drivers, dispatchers right now. Join the winning team at allcitytowing.com. That's allcitytowing.com. Dave Krieg will be our Learner in a Row one call that's all rewind basically of the day, as he will compare Paul Moyer to a hyperbole. Hyperbole. Excuse me. Easy for me to say. Hyperbole. That's next. Roc and Manuch, JB.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the Grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
Swing into Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf to get custom fit for the new Ping G440K driver. It's the new standard and straight with dual carbon fly wrap and a faster face. It's Ping's highest MOI most forgiving driver ever. Check out Ping's new G440K drivers. Book your custom fitting in store or online. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
For over a century now, Ford has been part of America. In my family, it's been generations. Paul Calvisi here. My grandfather worked for Ford Motor. My first car, a classic Mustang, still have it. But going to our Desert Ford dealers today means getting more than a vehicle. We're talking a full suite of benefits like complimentary Ford mobile service, or try Ford pickup and delivery. Yes, to and from your door, and it's easy scheduling in the Ford Pass app. Tough would be built Ford tough. More than a slogan, it's an identity of the F-Series trucks. And the all-new 2026 F-150 is the best yet, with a completely redesigned interior and exterior. Adventure? How about the Ford Bronco Sport? It says, let's get it, with 5 available trims so you can forge your own path. We recently bought a new Explorer at our Desert Ford dealers. Love the flexible seating up to 7. All the cargo room, the advanced tech. Bottom line, Ford is the future at our Desert Ford dealers. Just click buyfordnow.com.
Pima JTED doesn't just work for students, it works for all of Arizona. Hands-on training, real-world skills, high school students become job-ready, and Arizona businesses get the talent they need to thrive. Without a skilled workforce, Arizona can't grow. But with Pima JTED graduates, our entire economy prospers. Join the businesses already investing in Arizona's future. Learn more at PimaJTED.org. That's PimaJTED.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
It's the Learner and Row one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Learner and Row, voted Arizona's best law firm.
Paul Moyer. Oh, yeah. That is such BS, man. That guy, if you look at the word hyperbole instead of just exaggeration, you look at the word hyperbole and Paul Moyer's name will be there. He will talk about how good he is at everything and how much better he is than everybody else. That is Paul Moyer to a T.
That's Dave Krieg early on the program. Roc and Manuch with you. Twin Peaks, Tempe, wrapping it up today. Wow. I don't know, Manuch.
That was after after Paul Moyer gave him a lot of flowers, Dave Krieg, about how he's claiming a lot of things. But
Why do you keep saying that? The flowers term.
He does. He does give his flowers, give him his accolades, flowers, giving him his love, if you will. So, like in cribbage, pool, and other things like that. Didn't say anything about golf, but Dave Krieg talking about the hyperbole of Paul Moyer. That's why he's such a great radio broadcaster. Doing the Paul Moyer doing the Seattle Seahawks pregame and postgame for the Seattle Seahawks radio network.
All right, what's on tap tonight? Warriors, Suns, 8 o'clock on Arizona Sports, as well as Prime. Yes. Does that mean we will not be able to see it on Channel 3, correct?
That'd be correct, yeah.
Prime. That's great. What a great service.
How about the two? I like the Tuesday night NBA on NBC. Been
These
great.
are the only Suns games I can watch. I don't have Channel 3. I have YouTube TV, so I get to watch one every month.
You won't get to watch any D-back games this year either.
Yeah.
Channel 3, Channel 13. You gotta have
I need to get
well, 13 you won't have, because that's Cox.
I need to get like a satellite and put it into my TV. I hear that's what people love.
No, all you gotta do is just get some rabbit ears and you're fine.
The rabbit ears are back.
They work. Hey, this weekend here, a lot going on. But Oklahoma State is down in Tucson. That's a national game on ESPN. Grand Canyon is at UNLV. That's a national game on Fox. How about that? That's at 2:30. Also on Saturday, the Sixers are in town. They've made some moves over the week. You'll hear that on Arizona Sports 98.7. And Arizona State's at Colorado, and you'll hear that here on ESPN Radio 620 and 98.7 FM HD2. It will also be on ESPN 2. Monday, ESPN National Game, Arizona, Kansas. That's going to be the game.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about Oklahoma State, but at Kansas is a tough place to play. Kansas is pretty good.
First time a number 1 overall seed has ever gone into Allen Fieldhouse. So that's history.
Yeah, and but you can't sleep on Oklahoma State either, Al.
They just beat BYU last night.
They did. How about Gonzaga getting upset by Portland State?
Minus 7,000.
Good for Portland.
Yeah, Portland State.
I mean, that's just, you love when you see those, especially it's there up there in the Northwest and Portland, who under 500, struggling in their own conference, and you win like you did. That's awesome.
It was like first time in 40 years that Portland State has beat Gonzaga. But I think that Oklahoma State game, so U of A, they have yet to play. We talked about Oklahoma State and then KU on Monday. Then you got Houston, you got Houston Tech.
The gauntlet is on.
The gauntlet is on for U of A Wildcats to see. It's going to be some guy. I got to imagine there's probably a loss these next.
Can't win them all.
4 games. Can't win them all. And then KU, I know Bill Self is having some struggles. He's been in and out of the hospital. Head coach for KU the last week and a half to couple weeks. But I've watched them. They have really gotten their act together.
The Jayhawks are hot right now.
They are hot. They're playing really good basketball. But again, the U of A Wildcats just seem to get it done. Then how about ASU? Up by 18 last night on Utah. Then Utah got all the way down to 4 points with 35 seconds to go. And then ASU closed it out. So good for the Devils to go on the road and get a win.
You're just getting out of the WM Open, and you're like, oh man, what's going on in the world of sports? We appreciate you tuning in real quick.
Sure.
You missed the Suns' big trade today, as they acquired Cole Anthony and Amir Coffey in a 3-team trade that sent Nick Richards to Chicago Bulls and Nigel Hayes-Davis to the Milwaukee Bucks. Also, you missed a D-backs trade today, as Blaze Alexander is heading to the Baltimore Orioles in exchange for relief pitcher Cade Stroud and a couple minor leaguers. This kid Stroud did pretty well last year. 25 appearances, under a 2 ERA. It was a 1.71. Only allowed a run in only 5 appearances, and he did not allow multiple runs in any major league outing, and only 1 home run.
Yeah, and that bullpen definitely needs it. And you got a couple arms coming back too, in reference to Tommy John surgery or just issues that they've had. So, and you think of Burns coming back hopefully by the All-Star break or right after the All-Star break. In the meantime, can the Diamondbacks team hold serve of what they've got or what they're looking to acquire, with pitchers and catchers reporting next week? So, there's a Zach Gallen watch on. I think that the Paul Goldschmidt watch is pretty much going to go back to the Yankees, I assume. But as far as Zach Gallen, I don't know. Does he sit? Does he decide to come back to the Diamondbacks? What they've offered him? Where they offer him like 20?
he was hoping to get a 5-year, multi-million-dollar deal at the beginning of this offseason, and it has gone the complete opposite way. So I think he's going to take a 1-year minimum with the D-backs.
Yeah,
That's my guess.
I would assume so. And then prove yourself, come back is what I would say the up and down year you had last year that he had last year. The consistency's not there, but in the meantime, I think Brandon Fogg's another one that's hoping to get more consistency out of that young man as well too. So next week, pitchers and catchers report spring training.
What do we got coming on tomorrow on the Friday edition of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B? And we normally at Wright Toyota, but because of the WM Open, we gave our 2 parking spots to someone.
Yeah, came up.
We don't know who yet.
Yeah,
somebody's going to sneak in there and park.
Sean Salisbury will be joining us from San Francisco.
He's at the.
He's out there.
Is he doing Radio Row?
Yeah, I believe so. He's in some Radio Row.
Are you sure? Because so far, every person you said is in Santa Clara has not been in Santa Clara. You were wrong on Paul Moyer. You were wrong on Howard Balzer. I mean, come on,
they're
dude.
Santa Clara, San Francisco. What's the difference?
Well, no, Paul Moyer is still in Seattle.
Well, Paul, he's leaving tonight, so I assumed he was going to be there. And they'll catch up with Tom Lehman.
Nice.
He's doing some work with the Golf Channel out there.
Yeah, he did a nice piece early on. I mean, because he's been pretty much involved in this TPC Scottsdale Golf Course for a long time.
We'll get Kevin Rose over-under picks to his predictions. Rick Horo talking about the business side of the Super Bowl.
He's probably going to be in Santa Clara tomorrow.
Yeah, he will be. He'll be.
I would trust that he would be there.
Yeah, and then we'll catch up with former Saints coach, former linebacker Jim Haslam. Will be joining us at 3:30 tomorrow as well. It's my former teammate in Buffalo, and he said as far as coaching, he's pretty much done. I think St. Louis offered him a new head coaching job in the UFL, turned it down.
Sounds like the big-time coach that just went back. We reported last week. Was there somebody that we were like, Rick Neuheisel?
He's going back to the Dallas Renegades.
Yes.
Yeah, so Rick's going back there. And we may have a couple others to sprinkle in here and there. So jam-packed show, a lot of Super Bowl talk, some sports business talk we'll have. And
all right, so if you missed anything, it's easy. Just go to rockmanuch.com or download the Arizona Sports app. We had a fun interview with Dave Krieg and Paul Moyer, both Seattle guys. That was great. Of course, we just had Howard Balzer from San Francisco and Mark May. I got to tell you, we will cut that up and bring that back to you next week, as he had an interesting take.
He let it rip
about the Cardinals hire.
Let it rip. Absolutely. Don't forget Ashley, the fine server here at Twin Peaks.
But, yeah, Mark, he didn't hold back. We may have to redo his opening called Unfiltered, Uncensored, like we do with Sean Salisbury. But everybody out there, be safe this weekend, too. I have my clone will be out at the WM Open, and so if you see him out there, please tell him I said
Tell him to be safe out there. Be careful.
Yeah.
A lot of folks.
It's like, I wish I was promoting a Super Bowl party.
Oh, so do I. I'm going to miss that this year. I guess we'll get by.
Special thanks to Twin Peaks once again. We'll see you back here tomorrow, 1 o'clock on ESPN Radio.